Hey boys, what do we have here? Finally, another patch notes stream. Many people tell me these are their favorite streams. Even if they don't play the game anymore, they still come for the patch notes. For the games they don't play anymore, I don't know how that works, but it works for them, so I guess it works for me. We're gonna be reviewing all the patch notes, and starting with this patch, future patch note streams, we are not going to be doing. Hey, Wesh.
Have you seen that shit?
We are not gonna be doing any more blue balling or teasing or review videos. So all the content, official content they release, will be done always on the patch notes video. So we don't have to go through many different streams for it. So one stream for all the new content, always on the patch notes video. It's Thrones of Delay finally. Speaking of delay, speaking of Decay and Nurgle, I got yet another infection. Got two infections on my body right now. I got a cold, and I got athlete's foot. Must be all the stress. I don't know what's going on. Walked over 5,000 kilometers in the last 2 years, and only now I get an athlete's foot. Oh boy. Anyways, let's get to the patch notes. So we're gonna be going through the videos they released and see what's new. King Gobo again with the patch notes. Greetings, Decay arrives in the world of Warhammer 3 tomorrow with brand new additions to Nurgle, the Empire, and the Dwarfs. 2 out of 3 are actually OG Warhammer content, and another god has arrived here. What makes you wonder what they're gonna do when they run out of Colors of Chaos. For a deep dive into everything arriving Thrones of Decay, including a heap of free LC content, be sure to swing by the links below to catch up on anything you may have missed. So I did go with the, we did go over this on the stream, this one here. So we're not gonna go again over this one. But I'm not sure if all this information is here. We'll see. We'll see. So we're getting Tamurkhan the Megatlord for Nurgle, Elspeth von Draken for the Empire. Seems like almost like another Vampire Count's Lord and not the Empire Lord. And Malakai Makaisson for the Dwarfs. Yeah, Spangs, good morning. Hey, Silent, welcome. But if you're short on time, here are some of the highlights for update 5.0. Imagine going to the patch notes and if you're short on time. I mean, when you look at it, might not be even there a lot here unless they remove the other languages. So let's see what the highlights say. Tamurkhan Megalord, Elspeth von Draken, and Malakai Makaisson arrive in Warhammer 3 with Thrones of Decay. Is that how you say it? Makaisson? Malakai Makaisson. That doesn't seem like a dwarfish name to me. Wasn't Malakai one of the bad guys from Path of Exile universe? Keep a tally of the countless plagues spreading Nurgle's name as Epidemius, a new free LC legend lord for Nurgle. So we're getting even another legendary lord here. Was that the guy that was riding in that? What was the thing called? The little, like almost like a throne carried by the Nurglings. Can't really think of the name right now for it. Palanquin, yeah, I think it was Palanquin. Was in the Nurgle video. So how many videos have Character Assembly even released for this update? We did see one, and that one was pretty cool. I searched Total War and go to their channel. So there is an announced trailer, Thrones of Decay trailer. We're gonna probably watch all three all of it again since this is gonna be the video for all of it. I'm not gonna be watching things separately anymore. It's always gonna be done on patch notes there in the future. So if you look at the views here, I mean, over time the age does add some views, but Nurgle has gotten the most views, but over time they get more views. There's a lot of views here, and it's only 5 days. Let's start with a trailer here. Check the trailer again. Trailer has a couple of good parts. It's definitely an Emperor-looking Lord couple. That guy has good attack animations. Gate bug fixed. Dwarves finally be good now. Getting a gyro bomber. Hold on. So we can see Felix and Gotrek here. This is the time definitely to fix Gotrek and Felix, right? Now is their pretty much only chance to do it. I'm really curious about these lens ships. How different is gonna be compared to a steam tank? So CA is working hard to restore their faith with the community. Thrones of Delay might be the last chance with Warhammer 3. For shit to go to 80% plus ratings. That was the main trailer, huh? Definitely looks that way. And she looks big in this on this picture, man. Like, look at this, man. It's a big woman there. It's like over 6 foot.
What the hell?
More battle brothers.
More battle brothers. Yeah, Agnieta. More battle brothers. Yeah, sure. More battle brothers. Thank you very much. That's like trolling during patch notes. But love you too. Yeah, she looks like a giant here. Yeah, Agneta is, I don't want to say that word. It's, not supposed to say on Twitch, but, start with an S and ends with a P, and it has a similar, similar amount of words as pimp. Where are we? Sparpy, exactly, Espara. Thrones of Decay pack introduced 3 new Legend Lords for Nurgle Empire and the Dwarves, usable in both the Realm of Chaos and Mortal Empire's campaigns. Embrace conflict, ingenuity, and decay with a new suit of Legend Lords, heroes, units, and mechanics to enhance your campaign roster and on and off the battlefield. Tamarkan, Magdalor, Elspeth von Draken, and Malakai Makaisson arrive in Total Warhammer 3. They bring unique campaign mechanics to their respective races with a brand new objective in the Realm of Chaos, independent from the Urson storyline, plus new units and legendary heroes to help them achieve that victory and secure the Nemesis Crown. Nemesis Crown, they mentioned the Nemesis Crown like 2 years ago. Supposed to be released last year, but I guess, something happened, certain laughing animal failed, and it got released this year. That's good coffee. 3 new Legend Lord join the battle. Get the chieftains of powerful factions across the known world and become the ultimate warlord as Nurgle, Tamarkan the Megalord. I feel like while we're going over the Tamarkan stuff, they really went extra here in Mexico. What the other guy's gonna get. Maybe they were worried that people would be buying Nurgle DLC since you can buy them separately, unique for this DLC apparently. I feel like Elich dies inside every time he reads Realms of Chaos out loud. It does summon a little bit of disappointment every time I have to read, yeah. Imagine all those resources invested into Immortal Emperors instead. What a waste. Embrace the strengths of magic and gunpowder with Null's Imperial Gunnery School, serving Elspeth von Draken. Makes me wonder what they've done with that landmark. No doubt you guys all spoiled to the maximum. This shit's been out in early access for a while now. Haven't seen anything. Seek a glorious death, reap the rewards, and test your latest innovations as Malakai Makaisson. Prove your odds with 3 new legendary heroes, 15 units, 3 lords, 3 heroes, and further 9 regiments renown. Epidemius is a free LC. This guy, that's the punk, you know. It looked like a overweight American herald of Nurgle. Epidemius is the epicenter of his army and excels at being a support specialist, blessing the grotesque gifts of the Earthfather upon his troops to enhance their combat prowess. Should he wish to examine potential experimental candidates up close, his Nurgling hoisted palanquin will transport him into battle, whilst his disease-imbued rusty sword will rip the enemy ranks limb from limb.
Have you seen that shit? Holy
Hey,
shit.
Casks.
What the hell?
Thank you. Best all war streamer. Somebody's biased. As Nurgle Stalliman Epidemius must oversee his master's domination over the world through spreading and cataloging of plagues. As these plagues spread far and wide between non-Nurgle victims, they contribute to his tally of pestilence, greatly increasing his power. That sounds interesting. Tally of Pestilence system counts the number of non-Nurgle armies and settlements currently infected by Epidemius' plagues. The greater number effect targets the greater gifts Epidemius has access to, including campaign bonuses and unique abilities. However, the tally of pestilence can both increase and decrease as plagues heighten and wane, so you'll want to ensure some degree of momentum. Within the Immortal Empire's campaign, Epidemius ventures forth from Forests of Decay. Available tomorrow as a free addition to Nurgle to all Curve Assembly account holders, alongside the launch of Update 5.0 and Thrones of Decay. My bad, delay. Be sure to create an account of your own. There's more info about C accounts here. Hopefully they're not making their own platform or account. Stability and performance. Fix the rare crash when opening the Vampire Coast Regiment Renown pool. Well, we haven't even ever seen any of these Vampire Coast rare crashes because the Regiment Renowns are not even worth bothering about. Directly, the only faction has a proper Regiment Renown system. You have to actually work towards it to recruit it, and we don't even bother with it. Greatly reduce the temporary freeze that can occur when Ultimate Crisis mode fires every end game at once. This is actually, yeah, this has actually been happening. It actually caused a crash to one so bad it corrupted the save file. One of those Gorse campaigns. Pressing escape while dragging ancillaries in the character details panel no longer freezes them in that place indefinitely. Fix the soul log that can occur when AI Catherine or AI Consultant won't follow the slays. Below are the changes to gameplay systems, AI, and other mechanics that define how the game is played. Rules and systems. Let's see. Fix the settlement building costs, showing the unmodified value on not yet unlocked buildings, higher tiers. Giving a region to another faction no longer incurs control penalties. This was happening. Special heroes that come from Rites, Necrotech, Pestilent Skin Priest, and the Doom Engineer can no longer equip magic items as they would be lost as soon as the hero performed their action. One day they will fix those guys, not taking the regular hero slots, so you can keep them more longer on the campaign map, and they'll have a trait, innate trait that gives them half a highest rank of harassment chance, so they are not always harassed at the max chance. Fixed an issue where recruiting units from a Horde army was not possible when the Horde army was within a settlement. Fix action points not updating correctly when recruiting a Lord after convalescing. What do you mean action points? I mean campaign movement? Somebody's been playing too much XCOM, it seems. Units with the always flying attribute can no longer melee attack buildings, gates, walls, constructible defenses. The UI now informs the player why recruitment is unavailable when it's because they cannot change stance. Added a tooltip to characters' trait choices in dilemmas. Wonder what this tooltip will say. Changing the battle difficulty when on pre-battle skill now correctly updates the auto-resolve result. Fixed effect range in the build tooltips not showing correctly in campaign when it has been modified by effects. Fixed an issue that was stopping abilities from correctly decreasing reload speed. AI rules and logic. Addressed issues of AI units moving indecisively when attempting to enter settlements. Exploit fixes. Fixed an UI exploit that allow banners to be assigned to units that shouldn't be able to equip them. Hopefully that means for the dwarves. It's been bugged through the entirety of Warhammer 3. And we only noticed it because we've seen it first on the AI. using unit runes on characters, as in like 30% physicist. Battle highlights: Lore of Life visual and audio overhaul. All the spells in the Lore of Life had a visual and audio overhaul. Here are the new visual effects for the growth. They hopefully added some world-ending effects to the Lore of Real Death. Why is that so laggy? Looks like it's running at 20 FPS. Nurgle army ability point generation. The way that Nurgle generates points for army abilities has been changed, as we felt it was a bit unengaging and out of the Nurgle spell control in some cases. Nurgle units no longer have to take damage to gain points to use on army abilities. Instead, army ability points are now gained based on how many hexes are affecting enemy units. A hex is a negative debuff or counter effect like poison. Oh, that sounds good. Point generation also has a tiered hierarchy. Each subsequent tier of point generation overrides the previous. Common phase effects yields at least the least amount of points. Passive abilities yield a moderate amount of points. Active abilities yield the most amounts of points. This incentivizes Nurgle players to spread as much disease throughout the battlefield as possible to gain access to the Curse of the Slug, Fecundity, and Rot Glorious Rot. Oh, we'll see. This again, man. Hopefully they fix the Hawk Riders. Homing projectil refinement. You can call it homing 2.1 if you want. We have returned to the table to take one more crack at one of the big gaps left in the updated homing implementation from 4.1. While we were generally happy with how the change worked against single entities, we felt like there was more work to be done. Previously, when assigning a homing behavior to a projectile, we passed a target entity. And all homing projectiles fired by the same entity or a unit would be given the same target, leading to excessive overkill and poor performance versus multi-entity units, even when firing many projectiles. Under the new system, we randomly assign each individual projectile a target, roughly evenly spreading the homing targets out across all the entities in this target unit. To help us demonstrate Hawk ICBMs. Oh, that looks good. Well, we're keeping a close eye. I've been keeping a close eye on literally everything since the last year. What happened? Like, why, such a close eye on the game all of a sudden? On the various multiple projectile magic missiles in the game in the coming patches to gauge the impact of this and possibly make some more number adjustments. Pursuit behavior. While investigating unit pursuit behavior at the start of Thrones of Delay, that's when a unit A is chasing unit B over the battlefield after B has routed, we interrogated a limitation where only 3% of the chasing unit was allowed to initiate an attack. We have now removed this limitation, which should make pursuing units more responsive, but also enable the units to keep the pressure applied to the target once it is broken. Is it it, boys? Have we finally been delivered? Are we finally going to not leak grey matter out of our ears when the battle is done and we are chasing down the enemies? This has been like an issue since day one of the series. Okay. New unit attributes. Slayer. New for Thrones of Delay applied to all Slayer type units. The Slayer attribute makes the unit count as a Slayer for ability targeting and also makes the unit immune to reductions in weapon strength. So you can debuff Slayers, huh? So does it mean the Slayer King, when wounded, will finally not get penalized by the wounded that just get Death Wish, that is almost the same thing to recover weapon strength? I was just commenting this on the last Karakadin campaign. It's like very suspicious. Directional shield. Units with directional shield attribute have 360-degree missile block, but the unit's base missile block is multiplied as follows. 1 times from the front, half times from the sides, 0.1 from the rear. The steam tank has this attribute, which means that it's important to keep it facing towards any incoming missiles. Directional shield, huh? Void Shield's alpha version. Warhammer 40k confirmed, boys. Okay, where are we? Ballistic plating. If the unit has a missile block chance, it may now apply to all types of projectiles, apart from magic missiles or spell-based bombardments. Invulnerable. Units with invulnerable attribute don't take damage from any sources. Cannot die. Units with cannot die attribute can take damage, but enemies cannot be killed. Well, in CA games, enemies still get killed, but somehow at the end of the fight, they are miraculously revived. They don't even know how it works, but it works. The eagle-eyed among you may notice some of these aren't entirely new functionality, but we have broken the cannot die and invulnerable behaviors into attributes, giving us better control over how we apply it and a tooltip for you to read when facing against it.
Oh
Hey, bird
my
teeth.
God. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
Ooh, what is this? Regeneration rate and healing power tooltip. This is what I like to see, guys. This makes me happy. I like shit like this. We now expand the health bar tooltip so that it now displays the following info. Health regeneration rate, healing cap when applied, healing power, barrier regeneration rate, barrier cap when applied, barrier recharge. Like, look at this, guys. Like, I've been asking for this since day one, man. God damn, man. Look at this, man. Finally, man. Maybe they hired one on Pet of Exile, guys. And we're getting some, more information in a strategy game. You know, imagine, getting all the information available in a strategy game. We also updated the health bar to display the amount of barrier points without hovering the tooltip. Would you say it's a miracle? Not quite yet. Well, it's not yet. You know, my people needs to get hard first, and then it's a miracle. This is just, like another reaction from that wrestling guy. We are currently in the first third of the GIF.
Oh my God.
Haven't not falling off the chair yet.
Shit. Holy shit.
Hey, Docker.
What the hell?
If okay, the GIF healing power will automatically adjust as it is raised and lowered by effects. This is great. This is great. Well, don't spoiler me, but I hope they fix the tournament. And not by giving it +2 more leadership. Because I want to play more Vampire Counts campaign, but I'm terrified, mortified about unlocking my first 2 Bloodline Lords, and one of them is determined. And I can live with this. I can live with this. I can play the campaign, but the moment I show it on the stream, emotes start happening in the chat, and then I'm slowly starting to die inside. So it's not the game's fault, guys. It's you. It's your fault. See, I did nothing wrong. Termin is fine. It's your emotes that hurt the gameplay. Anyways, moving on. There are still a couple of bugs to iron out with the system in order to get it worked correctly with the intensity-based abilities and numbers with 2 decimal places, but we hope to address this in the patch. Lazy health bars. What is this? Health bars now have a lazy effect where you are temporarily able to visualize how much damage a unit has taken recently. It's tricky to make out on the GIF. What is it? The GIF or GIF? I think we all call it GIF. It's like it's a GIF that keep on giving. GIF, Jeff, GIF. Where we used our debug cannon TM to throw a ton of rocks onto this poor unsuspecting marauders of Zinch, but as their health goes down, you can see a portion of the bar becomes red for a moment before ticking down smoothly. Almost like they hired a guy for that used to work on Diablo 3 or now 4 as well. And CS hired so many new people these days. Yeah, I like stuff like this, you know, this stuff's like satisfying. But I think this was all in the game, just maybe it was hard to notice compared to this. What was that attack? Looks like a Soul of Stone. It's one of those bombardments from an item, a really powerful thing. I mean, they might have just conjured something different, but it looks like a Soul of Stone. Separation of possibilities, unit abilities, attributes, and resistances. In the unit info panel, we separate possibilities, unit attributes, and resistances into their own respective categories. Spell mastery 100%. What? Where? Who? What? Imagine having spell mastery 100% when casting one of those Pit of Shades or Dwellers Below. It's base. Man, don't get me excited. Base. Spellmaster is also listed on any units which can cast true spells. Bound spells don't count, and will adjust as Spellmaster is increased or reduced. Hopefully, they updated tooltips and all the spells to show what the Spellmaster exactly does, or have the spells have to wonder what it does. If they want the Spellmastery stat to be desirable and something satisfying to have, they need to update all the tooltips to show exactly what the Spellmaster does for every spell. Domination mode. Okay, we can skip this. Races and balance. General. Fixed an issue where the Black Pit only had access to minor settlement buildings. Technology research time now updates after a hero uses skill technology that turn. Ooh. Man, it was updating my head. It was updating my head, but it didn't work this whole time. Goddamn. Completed destroy factions mission objectives no longer lose their progress sticks when loading a save. Huh. Boris, Thoughtbringer, and Red Duke can now be recruited after the Confederation by only owning Warhammer 1, no longer requiring Beastmen and Wood Elves DLC respectively. Still no Boris in the campaign, boys. Are they saving Boris Thoughtbringer for Beastman DLC, Beastman update, and the Red Duke for the Vampire update? Yeah, you would unlock Red Duke by completing the Wood Elves campaign, but only in the multiplayer. So you have to complete Wood Elves campaign to use Red Duke in the multiplayer. Replace effects that increase hit points with melee defense instead on certain items and item sets, as hit points cannot be increased by items. Huh. So that worked in my head too. Items general. Remove the melee defense effect from the Shield of Tolos item to better suit its rarity and description. First, the Legend of Total War ruins this item by abusing the shit out of it with his single anti-abuse exploits. And now the Shield of Tolos not only has defense on it, but have erased missile resistance on it now. That item used to be 5 defense and 30 missile resistance. If they remove the 5 melee defense and just left the missile resistance, they should at least return a portion of missile resistance on it. Shard of Zinch. Increased Spellmaster. Look like the Spellmaster in general has been increased by 5%. That is suspicious. I mean, 10% was barely noticeable. Barely noticeable unless you were casting a lot of spells. I think 15% does sound better. Watch by the Watcher. Monka who? Number of users -1 to 3. Huh. Might have been the new Chinese guy. Or maybe it's I don't know what this is. I don't remember what this is. Is a Kairos ability? Is this the one that lowers attribute and makes them unable to move?
Summon the Elector Counts.
Not today, Carl. Not today. That's the Oracle of Eternity gaze. That's the Gaze of Fate. Not sure what is watched by the Watcher. I think it still is the Chinese guy. Watched by the Watcher, there it is. It has limited uses now, but the cooldown will still be 2 minutes. Anything that has a cooldown for 2 minutes should have unlimited uses. Hopefully they lower the cooldown as well then. Mistwalker's Barrage, that's the Eltarian's ability. We did play the Eltarian campaign recently. It increased the number of projectiles to 50, that's a lot. This will attempt to spawn projectiles above the target, offset the launch position towards deployment zone by projectile range. Can damage allies, true or false? I mean, that ability was basically not doing much, not doing much. The Twisted Twin has 30 spell mastery. It makes me wonder what they done to the magic system. This is like a hint that something happened to the magic system. Maybe the lower amount of power reserves. Extremely daring death blow. No longer must pain the ass. Ungrim gets another 10 attack. Ungrim has ridiculous attack, and they give it another 10 with that extreme daring death blow. So there's a big nerf to Ungrim. But this is an absurd ability. This is an absurd ability. This one literally made Ungrim on the low health real extremely hard to kill unless he had magic attacks.
my
Hacker
god.
Spirit.
Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What
So
the
some
hell?
changes to the dead blows. I mean, this doesn't really do anything for Ungri. Maybe somebody else has it now. They're running this one to 20. If it works, this doesn't work always. Master of the Black Arts. What the hell? That's Mumford's ability. Holy shit! The greatest sorcerer. That's wow. You can cast 3 spells during that duration. Mumford has always been incredible, but I'm glad that he's getting more love. Mumford, I always enjoy Mumford.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit.
Hey Disco,
What the
ballistic
hell?
calibration can now be targeted on a friendly unit from distance. Okay. I think this is actually better. They removed the accuracy buff. Accuracy wasn't really doing anything meaningful in this particular example, so we removed it from the ability. So, only with our heads. Well, Scott is a couple of really good things so far that yet to be seen if they're going to be working the game. Nothing to do even with the new content, something that had to be patched years ago. So, PP is still not hard, but it's getting there. We'll see. Dragon Slayer's Ox. What the hell, man? Aha. Okay. I see. Dragon Slayer Fang. This looks like items from the Forge. Yeah, this thing is kind of big. This thing is big. These are some of the items got changed. Prismatic amplifier, that red item that was increasing power charge rate by 60%. We were right, there was missing a 0. Just one moment, boys, one moment. Be right back. Okay, we're here. To be honest, regarding the ballistic calibration, we used to deploy for that ability. We used to use that ability, even prioritize killing it. But if I'm honest, I've never noticed a sure difference that made any difference to the battle. So it always worked in my head that the range was performing better while under effect of it. Them saying that accuracy did nothing there, I don't know about that one. I mean, it worked. It always worked, but did it make any difference? No, like a meaningful difference in a battle. No, that's debatable. Skull of Katam, that's the item that damages you but increases spell mastery. 120 now. Holy shit! Holy shit! Man, what's happened to the magic? What they done with the magic, man? It's like they're doing all these changes here. Where's the big reveal? Also, the guy strikes again. Okay, this is a bunch of abilities changed here. This is the nothing specialist here. Flame of Azuk can damage siege vehicle.
Oh my god. Have you
Hey,
seen
Alexander.
that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
Are you serious, man? Look at this. OCD guy is back for sure. So Venge of Spirits is now a multi-anti-damage. I haven't even used it. I haven't played the Mother Stankia and I haven't played the Jade Dragon. Wonder if the OCD guy, balanced the Talisman Preservation yet again. From 20 to 17 to 16 and now to 15. I haven't played Mother Stank, I don't care about any of this, but I probably play it sometime, but I honestly don't really care about that faction. That faction has a huge stink on it, as long as that whole DLC. Miasma Pestilence now can spread around, huh? That's cool. That's the debuff for charge and attack. Blue Fires of Zinch. It looks like the Blue Fire of Zinch got nerfed. Okay, here we go, boys. The dwellers below and the dwellers below upgraded. Damage from the dwellers below has changed so that each individual branch emerging from the ground is its own zone of damage. Here we go again. Previous dwellers below was a large single zone of damage, which meant that the branches emerging from the ground did not impart physical force to nearby units. Now every branch should knock units around appropriately, as well as dealing a lot of damage. What the fuck? Debuff dwellers below? What the fuck are they smoking? Let us know how you get on it with it and where we need to make adjustments in the future. This is like one of the most powerful spells in the game. Sounds like it costs a stagger now. It's gonna make it even more deadly. What's expense to cost? There's no expensive magic in Warhammer 3.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
LS. Murderous Mastery increased armor piercing missile damage by 20%. What the which range units use Murderous Mastery? What the hell? Shades doesn't use Murderous Mastery. Murderous Prowess. Is it the big ones? Who uses Murderous Mastery? But they're not sure this use Murderous Mastery. What the hell? Canned Assassin? It's only for the Canned Assassin, I guess. Nice catch. So it's a Canned Assassin specific thing. The Lords are not that skilled. The Lords have prowess. The Master is only on this guy. The Lords have never had Master. It's only the Assassin. I mean, it would make sense if the Lord had the Master as well, but one change just for King Assassin. His range attack isn't even that good. It's if you're desperate, it might do something, but in a multiplayer environment, I guess might be relevant. Execution have it, but it's a range buff. It's a range buff. Why so quiet? Let's put some background noise back to the happy times.
Oh my god! Have you seen that shit? Holy shit! What the hell?
English Cake has appeared with his usual green name and feels weird man. Classic. The age of student of Teclis is over. The age of Imperial Wizard is now. English Cake, you've been spoiling yourself. Cataclysm spell, Ashes and Dust, gonna charge faster, instead of 2 minutes to 60 seconds. Gehenna Golden Globes. That one was underwhelming, but looks like they made it better. But why are they buffing Cataclysm spells? Nobody plays Realm of Chaos, and the shit is just available to only a few guys in the game. El No Sabe. Go away, Oglam. Magma Sona has 5 super projectiles from its center, similar to flame. What the hell? This was active for 26 seconds? No. No. What the? 26 seconds now to 120? Yeah, that's like another oversight I know the first. Storm Renewal got nerfed by 1 second. Oh man, what are we gonna do? Time Walk got doubled. Time Walk was basically what? Was time warp for the entire army. I mean, now it's for entire army, but the Lord removed these two. Movement and charge now. And the enemies can't move. I guess they're buffing Cataclysm spells, so people play Realm of Chaos more. They're not happy with the amount of people playing Realm of Chaos. Typical CA. Dance of Despair has been increased by 24 seconds. This is a big debuff. That actually removes their leadership stuff, but no longer attack and defense penalties. This makes it more unique, but I like it like this as well. By our blood, nerfed by 5 seconds. I think our people will be happy with this change. 30 seconds was a lot. It's their unbreakable attribute. Gyrocopter Bomb. Let's see. Gyrocopter and Gyrobomber bombs have been reworked to work with the new increased unit sizes. Huh? They now share a similar damage profile, with the Gyrobomb being better in the sense that it has a large explosion radius and more bombs they can drop. More bombs, but they do lower damage, and they have higher explosion rate. This looks like this bomb's gonna be real nasty against infantry. Gyro Bomber bomb. They got 4 every time you drop it, but they're lower damage now. So they increase by 4 times, but they lower some of the properties. And the Skyhammer was already doing this thing. The Skyhammer was already doing this thing, but now it's doing less. So what's the point of Skyhammer now? Is the Regiment Renown. He was already doing this, right? And now he just got nerfed. Looks like they haven't made the gyro bombers 4 entities. Or maybe we haven't gotten to that one yet. I mean, if that big one single guy is coming with so many bombs, gyro bombers have to be 4 entities now. That would be like ludicrous to just keep it 1 entity now. Just like mind-bogglingly stupid. Beastmen. Taurok soon torture access quest mission no longer can be cancelled. The Beastmen hundreds of buildings on display how many slots they will provide with each level. Remove effect causing a second type of attrition on non-chaos armies for the Beastmen Plague of the Crow. Added MP units Pestigors. Beastmen characters can now gain the Lone Wolf trait. Huh. They nerfed the Hippogriff on Luen. Lost nearly 300 health. So it looks like Hippogriffs all got nerfed. Henry got 5 more armor. Geralt Guardians have around 475 upkeep cost now. So they're increasing cost and all this shit. It's so odd to see upkeep cost changes. I mean, Bertonia does have access to ridiculous money, and these units are insane, even just having a couple of them in the army. They should be really expensive. I had a Barber Warhol skill to learn Lunker, which he starts with automatically unlocked. It was odd not to have a skill for a horse, huh? Dark Elves. General updates. The Black Ark aristocracy building chain now displays correctly in the advanced military building category. Black Ark buildings now display the scope of the upkeep reducing effects just to units that are in the Black Ark army. No mentioning of the AI in the Black Arks. It's literally like the core of the Dark Elves war machine, and Warhammer 3 Dark Elves have been lacking because they won't be able to use it properly. Blade of the Blood Queen Hargan Executions now have immune psychology like the regular Hargan Executions unit. Okay. Wow. Okay, Dwarves. Dwarves have gotten a pretty hefty amount of changes this time around, the highlights being the introduction of the Slayer attribute across all Slayer units, rebalanced straw hammer torpedoes, rebalanced gyrocopters and bombers, as well as a rebalanced flame cannon that is now more accurate to its tabletop incarnation. Campaign. A reduced spawn rate of Arcus follower for dwarves, and the student follower no longer drops when lords level up, as they can only be equipped by heroes. Okay. Another adjustment to the research followers. Recycling items for Nurgle now correctly updates the set of other items in the forge panel, so you have to close it and open it again to update it. Replaced firewall's moving attribute for gyrocopters brimstone guns, which causes fear gained from interchangeable parts technology. Giant Slayer's got another hell buff. What the hell, man? They're all one of the most elite units in the game. That is insane. That is... what the hell? That's a lot of health. Iron Drake Storm torpedoes have received a range and velocity buff, making them more proficient dealing with large armor targets at long range. This is what we wanted literally years ago, and finally it happened. Slightly lower damage, but I have nearly double the range, and the speed of projectile is over double. This is exactly what we wanted years ago. Gyrocopters. The full might of the Davi Air Force has now arrived. The gyrocopters have been rebalanced to include more entities. Their weapons also have been a bit of an overhaul, with a steam gun regular gyrocopters being adept at damaging armored targets. From 4 to 12. What the fuck, man? They tripled it? Not even doubled it, they just... BAM! Tripled it! Man, the brimstone guns is gonna be ridiculous now. What the fuck, man? I guess a lot of crybabies never learned to use the gyros, and now they had to do something about it. I mean, of course they're gonna adjust the damage on it, but man, what the hell? Maybe just for the regular gyros and not the brimstone guns. Okay, this looks like completely different gyrocopters now. Slightly weaker weapons, but better range and projectile speed. But considering the triple the amount of entities, this looks like they're gonna melt stuff now, like large regiments of infantry. The gyros they always did do well, but the problem with the gyros, they're such overkill. Dwarves can kill infantry in a million ways, and you don't need gyros to do it. You can use other things for it. So the brimstone guns were always a better option. Brimstone guns have undergone master information to become more accurate to their tabletop incarnation. The brimstone gun now fires a stream of hot fire at the enemy, much like an iron drake would. Huh. The intention here is that the brimstone guns can now be used to hose down lightly armored enemy infantry with fire, while the regular gyrocopters pepper large, more armored targets with their AP steam gun. You saying all these gyro made me want to have some gyros with fries. You know, since I knew it was a dwarf army, that's why I ate a half a kilo of ground beef, so I wouldn't be hungry when I read all these gyro stuff. Gyro bombers and Skyhammer gyro bomber. Why the fuck is the chat in the emote only chat, guys? Disable that shit. Take this. Burek doesn't bring me any more joy in life. I'm not reading chat anyways, unless you at me, and then if you at me with something bad, I ban you. Both the Jar Bomb and the Skyrim have also been updated with the arrival of Thunder Barge. Jar Bombers now have come with 4 entities by default and have been rebalanced to reflect this. Huh. After all these years, boys, after all these reworks to the main gun, to the bombs, they finally realized, had no idea what they were doing this whole time, and making it like other gyro units will fix it. Makes me wonder how those guns are gonna work now. The projectile is faster and have slightly better range. I don't know, man. That main gun might actually do something now. But this is a massive change, because this unit is gonna be now usable, because they're not gonna always drop dead after a couple of battles. The entities will heal at the end of the battle. So the main change here is 4 entities, and they're gonna behave like chariots and other gyros. So if they get damaged but not destroyed, they heal at the end of the battle, and that's gonna make the unit actually usable for once, instead of just being a overkill kamikaze unit. Flame cannons, we made some changes to flame cannon to make it more accurate to the tabletop rules from the 8th edition Dwarf Armor book. Yeah, I don't care about this flour and wheat shit. Lately, I'm just craving, craving or desiring, whatever you wanna call it. Call it cheese and hazelnuts mostly. You should hide the hazelnuts from me. I can eat like a whole bag. We have made some changes to the front cannons to make it more accurate to the tabletop rules from the 8th edition Dwarf Armor book. The unit felt it didn't capture the fantasy as well as it could have elaborated a much better match to its core identity. Flame cannon is also one of those units that got patched so many times. The individual shots of the flame cannon can deal less damage per shot than it used to be, but the number of shots that it fires equates to more damage overall than its previous inclination. It fires 6 shots now. Oh. I don't know what to think about this. I think flame cannons were finally in a perfect spot. They lowered the range by 40%, what, 30%, and now they made it some barrage unit. We'll see. That's another redesign of the unit. This sounds like it will absolutely annihilate shooter regiments like Wood Elves or High Elf or Dark Elf range. Abilities. There's some invisible change here. We don't know what it is. Well, watch 7 more range now. Watch 190 range. Problem with wave watchers, they're hard to spot. And sometimes you assign a attack on them and they drop input, disappear, and your unit drops the attack. So you gotta be on alert. I mean, when dealing with wave watchers, they're always gonna be mostly always gonna have 190. Rarely gonna have all 190. And if they have wave watchers, you're not gonna assign a flame cannon on them. You're gonna assign an organ gun. Flame cannon will be shooting what's visible. Because they always, the moment you give input, they drop order, then your unit drop orders. So you don't want to assign a unit like this if they can disappear. It's kind of bizarre they did this change to flame cannons again, but no mentions of the bolt thrower. This might have been the right time to make the bolt thrower have more entities, finally. Bolt thrower should have 8 entities. And get a proper technology for it. But I forgot about the bolt throwers, it seems. Again. Wolfheart's hunter Jorah Grimm had his skill tree updated. Belegar's Age of Ring Conquest skill has been nerfed from 50 to 30%. It's an odd thing to see nerfs to the campaign skills. But I guess, but the reasoning makes sense here, right? Make this core buildings and landmarks free. You know, because dwarves need help with the money. Rebalance auto forging and master of the force. Master of the force. They got Jedi's now. That's a master of the forge, right? Skill effects to be in the line with the updated outgold generation. Mummy Ink. The Gate Master here now correct has plus 25% harmony amplification. Jade Warriors lost 10 armor. What the hell, man? Why are they nerfing Jade Warriors? I guess they can't make the Dwarf Warriors look bad. So Jade Warriors lost 10 armor. That's actually gonna be noticeable. 80 is just like a solid amount of armor. 70, they're not so safe anymore. That's it for Grand Decay, just Jade armor nerf. Greenskins. Fixed an issue where Skarsnik and Wurza could end up with multiple primary building chains and special settlements. Huh? I think we've seen that. No buff to the Wyvern still. Wyvern Lord. I guess waiting for the Greenskin update. Clarified some effects on the Aztec skills to make it clear that they don't apply to Black Orcs units. Like, yeah, I did this clarification like for years now, but we realized it later on, yeah. It doesn't say here. A great atrocity has been corrected that's been in the game for over 2 years. Greenskin's AI can finally do Battle Va. So, dwarf noobs, beware. CA didn't have the balls to put this in the patch notes. As it comes with all the miracle patches, patches, they're always ninja changes that they don't seem worthy to put in the notes, because, you know, they're either too embarrassing or they just forget about them. Finally, man, Eltarer has some proper health. I was wondering why I had such a low health in that mount. Eltarer has got a massive health increase. I mean, his health sucked. You know, this is not proper health. How many lashes does he deserve? Just the right amount to cause scars, permanent scars. So I get some phantom pain, you know, we don't have enough scar tissue to replace. The High Elf skill Waller of Ages now also gives weapon strength when fighting against Chaos Dwarfs. It's the one that haven't updated, but they updated the generic one. So what is going on with the corn here? Exalted Bloodthirster got 5 more morale. Looks like another new attribute in the game. What happened to leadership? Juggernaut got 3 more attack and 2 more defense. Chaos Lords are so bad. So bad. I don't even know how they fix them at this point. So it looks like the Juggernauts got more attack and defense, not them. You fix them by Exalted Demonhood. Adjust some of the upkeep costs around, so corner slightly cheaper troops. The lower upkeep on all the corn troops. Bloodletter's got a leadership buff as well. Kislev warriors nerfed already, lost 2 defense and 3 AP damage. That's a small nerf, but they'll take more damage and do less damage, huh? As those units from the DLC. Armored Corsairs lost 2 ranged AP armor pistol missile, 2 AP missile damage. Their shots got nerfed. Wheel Lance's upkeep gone up. That's it. I'm not gonna be reading the recruitment costs, like it's pointless. Lizardmen, okay boys. Copium activated. Let's see some slan changes. The Conquara settlement has been changed to jungle climate. What? What the fuck does that have to do with the Lizardmen? What the hell? Removed, occupied from the Conquara settlement building names from playing as Lizardmen. Are they for real, man? They're fucking with us at this point. They are fucking with us at this point. Lord Mazdamundi lost 200 health. Why the lowering health on the slants? Lord Croak lost 400 health. Slan Mage Priest lost 1000 health. What the fuck is this shit, man? Like, the only thing they got are the big bodies, and now the bodies are getting smaller. What about their magic? Somebody drink a drink for me, boys. I'm not drinking myself. But this is sad shit. This back battle gem is good enough. It's good enough, yeah. Oh man. The Norscan Giant War Mounted units have had their place switched in the building tree, and the Norscan Giant is now correctly labeled as tier 4 unit rather than tier 3. In what reality is a Norscan Giant tier 4? Looks like a nerf to the AI. It's only the AI recruits them anyways. Norscan Ice Trolls. Looks like the OCD guy strikes again. They lost 1 damage. Fix the Norse character Burple Smirk Spew Spit skill Lightning Strike not correctly unlocking what skills have been spent in the previous group. Nurgle. Fix an issue where some plague cultists can lose their plagues when loading. Yeah, that happened in the past. That was one of the things in the Great Book of Grudges. Increase plague attrition damage. Oh, to be seen. Nurgle plays cannot be created on armies at sea. Cycle buildings now give payloads on entry instead of completion. Fix plagues not spreading correctly from military forces. Can I wish if you mouse over a plague it tells you how many more times can spread, you know, like the important information. All characters mounting a Nurgling palanquin except Hugat can hide in the forests. Plague bearers from Nurgle got 10 more leadership. Pox Riders got another 10 leadership as well. Beast of Nurgle got a massive attack increase. It can no longer be flanked. So it looks like the leadership things was decreased to mostly all demons. I remember Herald's on the Herald had a palanquin before. What's their mount? Skaven, like they should have. This was like a perfect place to put some meme teas for the future. Like this is some sad shit. Carlos Sonesh has Strider in psychology. Totally, they already had this from before. So demons getting more leadership. The Empire. Empire Jade and Grey Wizard are now granted by default if Warhammer 1 is owned. This is to remove the need to download the free DLC in Balthasar Gelt's campaign. Added missing region. Balthasar Gelt's campaign? What? They had to move him, right? Because that the new girl is in his area. Added missing region group from Electrocon script with the result in not getting the lamest to return regions to Ostland. Updated Empire Policy scripts to no longer have local variables, making it more mod friendly. Fixed issue where Electrocon invasion armies would have an upkeep and generate battle rewards that would often pay for their purchase cost. That was an issue, that was a win-win situation game, what the hell? Imagine being too successful in the defense there with helping against the enemy that you actually get the battle loot back. But now it's, you know, purpose not to be as successful, huh? Probably Strackland, it just takes a random lore from your pool. Made it so you can no longer dismiss Electrocon invasion battles when opting to help them. Update business request will for conference spawn new waves as previous waves got low rather than offset timers. Yeah, that one was bugged. Removed increased starting upkeep for state troop units but reduced upkeep reduction for each elector count seat owned from 5 to 3%. I was commenting on this one how initially they are too expensive, but as you get all the shit they are too cheap when you have all the money. So I mean going the other way around is better. Fixed issue where you would gain 1 prestige post-battle upon losing. I haven't seen 1 prestige, but I've seen some prestige when losing. Which is strange. Fixed electoral counts map not showing colors for some of the regions. The electoral machinations button now correctly updates its state when the panel is closed by clicking in an army or settlement. Remove starting upkeep and recruitment cost debuff for Knights of the Blazing Sun. Edit Castle Reigard, Blazing Sanctuary House, and Knight's Panel House provide powerful bonuses to Knights units. Ooh. Finally. Additionally, added a new Chapter House landmark in Null for the new Knights of the Black Rose, which follows the same format. That's another landmark in Null. Hopefully it's a 10 slot now. 2 landmarks on an 8 slot city. General has silver shields now. So basically the Griffon and Hippogriffs have been put to literally copy pasta version. They all have more health and armor. I mean this health was definitely felt like a Warhammer 1 values. Karl Franz has 1000 more health on the base. Holy shit. Take that, Lewin! Take that, Lewin! Finally Karl is better at something than you. I mean, Karl had always more damage, but everything Lewin did better. Else. Witch Hunter has 2 new abilities, Tools of Judgment and Grim Resolve. Okay, what's next? Carbu Great Swords, lower upkeep. Halberdiers, Nordal Mariners got a buff to attack and defense. Steel River Patrol has aquatic buff. Gunderman Surefires, they lower the leadership, lower the charge bonus, lower the armor, and lower the melee damage. Knights of More armor and better shields, because yeah, the Emperor Knights, they need more armor. More armor, more armor. Don't need anything else. Noble Sons have better reload. Outriders changed again. So they redesign the gun again. We'll have to see how it works, man. All these numbers are irrelevant. We just have to see how it works in the game. Grenade launchers, the Borderman got even more damage and more entities. What the hell? That is that ridiculous unit. War wagons, all variants. The crew and regular war wagons now usually use Empire handguns to match their fighting animations. They have lower armor, lower speed, and lower charge speed. Steam Tank is on my favorite units. Let's see what says for the Steam Tank. It's like a big changes here. The Steam Tank has a brand new model and animations have been tidied up a bit. The original model was very old, being one of the very first units we created for Total War Warhammer back in 2016. We never quite found the time and the resource to revisit it and bring it up to the standards we have since moved on in 2024. But found this DLC offered the perfect opportunity to give these centerpiece units a lick of polish they deserve. Shout out to Chris for making this happen. Steam Tank has also undergone a bit of design overhaul. The Steam Tank now has a wider turning arc to make it feel a bit more of a beast of a vehicle when moving around the battlefield. In melee, the tank will no longer use the ram attack against enemies, instead opting to blast hot jets of steam from the steam tanks that we have. Will be having steam tanks. They may now fire on the move, and an engineer commander sits proudly in the top, shooting at anything that comes too close. The turret and the commander will also keep firing if the whole cannon runs out of ammo. The tank itself also now benefits from missile block chains used in conjunction with the directional shield attribute, allowing it to block missiles with varying effect, depending on which side it has shot at from. And they made it more expensive because, you know, it's a big gun, right? Melee defense has been doubled from 10 to 20, and missile block chains from 0 to 70%. That's that directional shield they added. No longer perfect vigor. Here we go again. Slightly adjusted all the numbers on the damage. Has a minimum range of 5, whatever that means. They made the Emperor Rod even more expensive. Man, somebody find that change when they added preview to Steam Tanks. Now they removed the preview of Steam Tanks. It really feels weird. I have no idea what they want anymore. Adjusted strength of hardship and taste of battle empire red line skills have more focused effects and scope. Strength of hardship is now a defense skill for melee infantry. Taste of battle is now a offensive cavalry skill. Tomb Kings. Okay, what do we have here? Fixed an issue where some Tomb Kings regiments now had less leadership than the regular unit countermeasures when at rank 9. Yeah, because they fucked up when they were adjusting this shit. Took over a year to fix. Couple of leadership changes. Zinch, nothing worth mentioning. Fixed an issue where the schemes panel could be closed during the scripted tour. Fixed an issue causing flaminess on the burning chair to fly too far off the disc in ways they shouldn't. Chaos Lord Zinch was missing collision attacks on the chariot. Demons getting more leadership. Look like all demons got more leadership. Fix the penalty up for item giving. Yeah, it's it was missing a 0 there. General updates. Fix an issue where certain Vampire Coast missions would break alliances that the player had. This was due to the target army being spawned would automatically declare war on the player and the allies would refuse to join. Yeah, this is an issue in the game where odd factions like the rogue armies or those special factions, your allies don't know what to do with them, so they break alliances with you. So 2.3 added preview to Steam tanks, now they got removed. We'll have to see what they do with the performance there, right? So pretty much nothing for the Vampire Coast, nothing from the Vampire Counts. The boons of Chaos on back will increase the barrier stat rather than melee defense for the Chaos Lord and exalt the hero's inch. Ryan has a 360 firing arc. Vampires with Miscellaneous next DLC towards the end of the year. I think really much for the Wood Elves. Campaign. Below the campaign changes made to the overworld campaign and world mechanics. Fix an issue in the Realm of Chaos campaign where when starting a new game, the default corruption was being set before custom starting positions were set, leading to cases like Boris Ursus starting with Chaos corruption in his province. Fix an issue where Citadel of Lead in ROC campaign was building minor cell and buildings rather than major. Are missing all the resources building in among Gumbad in the Realms of Chaos. A lot of sneaks. Have you seen the Lizardmen changes? They have lowered the health on all the slants. That was the Lizardmen changes after like a year. Next patch, they're gonna update their health. Probably gonna round them up. The OCD guy will kick in. Uber is like now correctly loads an Empire battle map instead of Stone Mountain, fixed collision issue on basement out there. Yeah, there's like a mountain battlefield there. All follows what else improved racing in an impassable area around barricade. Siege bells, fix padding around the bridges and major skin selling bells. Help with remove terrain lump underneath wall. Adjust the collision to stop units rising into air on Zubar siege bell. Probably that one on front of the bridge when they were just running in circles. Fixed broken sentry gun animations. Adjusted cliff to be outside playable area of Luster Mountains. The Henry now holds his tablet correctly on the projectil. Witch Hunter now holds their pistol in the porthole. Fix floating assets on Empire grasslands. Adjust the Hearthstone dress to work better with lighting. Fix blurry assets in locked state of electric counts. Updated Dark Elf rear material to improve visuals. Fixed an issue with Chaos Corruption fighting loading wrong environments. Fixed the river material in Aldorf map. Fixed an issue with Ice Guard dual swords bow and back in the wrong animation. Just a bunch of fixes here. I don't know, feels like shit is missing here. Feels like shit is missing. There's an update link. Like, this can be it. Page 2. Just comments below. Since we've seen this one already, we'll just check the other two. But what happened to this website? It's like, are they pushing a new website? What happened to this website? This one has been dead. Is this one dead? So this one is rest pepperoni. Which one was released first? Okay. Do we check this first or the video? What do you guys say? We already seen the Nurgle stuff, so we're not gonna go over it again. But in the future, we'll be seeing all the stuff on the patch note streams. Video first or the text? Video first. But it's the showcase. $13 minutes. Holy shit.
Elspeth's mysterious, powerful, and a bit creepy.
In this video, we'll be delving into Elspeth von Draken.
Deathly, reclusive, and the wielder of the dragon laser.
To explore who she is, her mechanics, and new units you can expect to see as part of the Thrones of Decay DLC.
Elspeth. Oh no, the skeletons are coming. Save yourself, boys.
Her name echoes throughout the lands of the Empire, her story shrouded in mystery. Elspeth von Draken is, of course, our seemingly ageless personal protector of the Empire. Not that anyone believes her, of course. Her starting location lies in the heart of Wissenland and Nuln. We're jumping into turn 5 of our Immortal Empires campaign.
So I'm not starting in Solent.
Where the
Maybe
severed
Solent
rags
as
of our
well.
homelands have been delicately sewn back together to somewhat resemble their former glory. We've no immediate threats around us, so
This is controlled by the old Wisseland, and this is controlled by the orcs. So Gelt is moved.
we begin the delightful process of figuring out who to target next. The big patch of undead land in the east probably needs turfing over, so we'll begin an expedition over to Sylvania. It helps that Elspeth receives no attrition from vampiric corruption, of course. And
Immune to vampiric corruption lord's army. Yeah, the Emperor need all the help they need. They can get against the vampires. Vampires are, big bullies. Big bullies. It is known.
they didn't see that coming.
For Sigmar and Verena.
She has the Wisseland flag.
Elspeth provides the fantasy of the kind of morally grey saviour of the Empire. Doesn't always do things the way that people might like, but she does get the job done.
The way Elspeth fits into the Empire roster is that she is a spellcaster character in the same way that Gelt is, but just has a different lore of magic. She also rides a Carmine Dragon, which is a monstrous mount, and not many spellcasters in the Empire roster actually field them.
A quick look around our neighbourhood and we can see a few changes. For example, Helmgar now starts under the control of Karl Franz, giving him a little more breathing room to try out his new Elector Count updates. And down south, Gelt
Elector
seems to
Count
be missing.
updates.
He now starts in Grand Cathay.
Oh, Grand Cathay, huh?
Fighting alongside Zhao Ming, with new updates to his campaign also.
They didn't expand them up, I guess. They just moved them down there.
Covered these changes in our Thrones of Decay blog posts, which you can find in the links below. For now, back to Elspeth. We've been utilising the Imperial Gunnery in the Imperial Gunnery School window, and by applying our schematics we've collected after battles, we've been able to upgrade our units. There is a nice selection of upgrades across the munition units, but we're currently focusing on our artillery, because who doesn't love explosions? So far in Tier 1, we've added in additional projectiles.
It's a little bit odd. You got this wizard lady, but the faction is about engineering and military ordnance.
Our Hellstorm rocket battery, and, my personal favourite, improve the reaction time for the Hellblaster volley guns by removing the cannot run attribute, increasing their speed, and improving acceleration and deceleration through the Wayfarer
Running
ability.
artillery.
Not bad for a single upgrade. These are just our early upgrades as well, and as we utilise the gunnery school, we increase our tier, unlocking further, more powerful upgrades and access to new units.
With Elspeth being in charge of Wissenland and Nuln, we knew that we had to have the Imperial Gunnery School in there. The mechanic kind of writes itself, an experimental weapons school and core to the Empire. It adds to the player experience by allowing you to push the limits of what your gun units could normally do. And it gets spicy at the end.
For Sigmar and Verina.
At this stage,
I like
our
her
army
voice
is
already.
primarily made up of foot soldiers. Our Nuln
But that's how the Empire siege towers look like, man. Thanks for CF for showing this. I've never seen them before.
stage, our army is primarily
Man, they look worse than Warhammer 2. Nice of CA to build some siege towers so we can see how they look like.
made up of foot soldiers. Our Nuln Ironsides are the front line of our force. And with more advanced armor, melee capabilities, and missile strength than our standard Empire gunners, we'll bring them right in to weaken the enemy's front line, before bringing back in our swordsmen to take on the bulk of the melee. We're in the midst of taking the walls. We'll position our ranged units on top of them to take advantage of the height. And I think we'll target our artillery on this
Looks
section.
like
Units
looks
on
like
top
they
of
got
them
a
to take advantage.
they got a hero from Shogun 2 here helping in her army. It's one of the must be one of the Shogun retainers. Maybe they watched a lot of the new Shogun show.
Advantage of the height. And I think we'll target our artillery on this section to make things a little less bottlenecky. Vlad has joined the fray. And call me over the top, but while he's caught up, I'm just going to target all my artillery on him.
Firing Vlad with the mortars.
And let's mop up the stragglers
What
using
is
our
this,
Hochland
Looney
long
Tunes?
rifles.
The Hochland long rifles is kind of like fan favorite weapon from the tabletop. They're long range, they're armor piercing, and they can really strike targets from a distance. Both the Ironsides and the Hochland long rifles sit either side of the handgunners in terms of where they sit on the roster. It's really you take what tool you need for the job to get the job done.
It's turn 20. Our armies are bespoke and our power is unquestioned. But our mantelpiece is empty and could do with some trinkets. The Dark Lady of Nuln is a bit of an antiques collector. Magical arcane artifacts entrance her.
Nemesis Crown. The ancient powerful artifact known as the Nemesis Crown whispers to you from someone in the Empire, promising great power should be taken into your stewardship. Visions for allowed your mind revealing a glimpse of location. Isn't the Nemesis, isn't this like the same shit as the Crown of Nagash? That crowned Sigmar War? Isn't that the one on the Azak's head nowadays? Or this is something else? It's oddly similar to that one. Sword of Cain 2.0.
As she yearns to understand the lore of death in its entirety. In her quest to complete her collection of artifacts though, she needs a quick way to travel. Gardens of Moor can be built in any friendly or neutral Empire-owned settlement, allowing us to create a network of pathways for Elspeth to traverse. We've set up a black tower near our capital of Nuln, so within a couple of turns, we can return to and assist our most important settlements without fear of travelling too far. Gardens can...
Well, I like they added more stuff around this, but some other factions gonna feel so bad when they have like 5+ factions again. They can use these and not the others. Shouldn't they give a way for other factions to use this at a later stage in the game?
Can be used to construct unique buildings to provide extra settlement garrisons, unlock units, and boost your abilities in campaign and battle. Be sure to keep in mind the cooldown after constructing each garden. It's important to plan your pathways carefully.
We introduced the Gardens of Moor mechanic to really tap into the lore of Elspeth, of this mysterious woman that goes between Black Towers and her relationship with the Cult of Moor. From a gameplay side, it really helped her to zip around the Empire and protect them in dire straits.
Rather than rely on these gardens too much, let's make sure our homeland is well defended by utilising our Master Engineer Lord.
Compelled by good
Master Engineer Lord,
So hailing from the Engineers
wow.
Guild, the Engineers are kind of these master craftsmen who specialise in creating all the weird and wonderful weapons
Thought that would be a
the
hero.
Empire use to dispatch of their enemies during battles. The difference between the Engineer and the Master Engineer is the Engineer is a hero and wields
What,
a
they got
repeater
a hero engineer too? What the hell?
and he can use the ability Mercurial Shot from the Tamarkan book. The Master Engineer wields a grenade-launching blunderbuss, and both units can also call down the fearsome Pigeon Bombardment.
Cuckoo Boom is the rallying cry of the Engineers, I believe. Alongside them, we have a new legendary hero.
Theodore Bruckner, known as the Titan Headsman,
Wolfric
is this
2.0,
kind
huh?
of champion of Null, the Justicar who kind of fights enemy characters. He is also the only character that is mounted on a demigryph.
It's turn 40. Elspeth has vanquished Festus and his Fecundite faction. But our neighbours of Nuln grow irritable of our conquests. The Wargroves of Woe have turned our forests against us. It may be because we discovered the Nemesis Crown and...
The Nemesis Crown, Flagelling Crown. That's a massive penalty with all factions, faction-wide, but the Empire relations got increased huge. Hit points plus 10%, huh. Replace the effects that increased hit points with melee defense instead on certain items and item sets, as hit points cannot be increased via items. Must be a faction effect then.
After taking it for ourselves, gain diplomatic penalties for all factions nationwide. Whoops. Elspeth can't help herself. Much to Elspeth's joy.
It's not an equipment item. It's not like a Sword of Cain to equip it.
The Nemesis Crown is a free update in patch 5.0. Within our Imperial Gunnery School though, we've a free update in patch 5.0. Within our Imperial Gunnery
interface on it, though.
School though, we've reached tier 3, unlocking the Amethyst panel. We can now purchase, recruit, and upgrade Amethyst units, taking advantage of their magically augmented munitions. Amethyst artillery is also available to us now, turning the tide on Dreich's invasion. Better get
Look forward what they're gonna give to Gelt. Some chick here gonna come here and get all the mechanics. Wonder what they gave to Gelt. The need to see what the Golden Order has these days intensifies. Because, you know, this looks all really nice, but what the most famous man of the Empire has, I wonder.
Those schematics.
It will rain death.
The Amethyst Armory bring that combined focus of guns and magic, which you don't normally see.
You really get what's the word, undercooked and short-handed if you get released among the first and not later on.
Empire, and they are very potent, especially with all the combined bonuses you can get for the Amethyst units and the regular counterparts. Some of the later additions include dropping a giant purple sun.
The Nemesis crown sits heavier.
What was that? Are those dryads?
The Nemesis crown sits heavy upon Elspeth. As we dominate, we make more and more enemies with our neighbours, but the temptation for Elspeth is too much. So while we have the option to drop it off at the nearest thrift store, I think we'll keep it.
I protect the Empire.
We're winning
See,
the
3
war,
new things there.
but Dreicher has made a bold move for her.
Protect the Empire.
There's some interesting stuff here.
We're winning the war, but Dreicher has made a bold move for her
Dreicher.
swan song, stepping forth into our lands to attack our capital of Null. We can't travel to a besieged settlement using the Gardens of Moor, but Grunberg? That ain't too far away.
Betwixt the veil.
Right, I can't handle an army of 40 units, so Elspeth's backup is going to come in as and when she's needed.
You heard it here first, boys. CA can't handle large armies.
Bombardiers! Ready for war!
Our garrison can hold off the first wave of Wood Elves, but looks like Dreicher's on her way with her main army.
This soundtrack should be in the game. Dwarf needs some dwarf music, right?
Elspeth arrives atop her Carmine Dragon. Let's boost that morale.
Doom, take thee!
As we lose units of our garrison, it frees up space for more of Elspeth's more qualified soldiers to arrive as backup. Oh, wait, those are my cannons. Oh well. My Knights of the Black Rose will avenge them.
The Knights of the Black Rose are this sword and board cavalry that really excel in sustained engagements.
Anti-infantry with good health.
Oh dear, they're really making their way in. Plus, they found some of my undefended gates. Time to call in the artillery.
Oh,
Steel
look at
tank,
that!
now mounted with a volley
Me
gun in the
likes.
hull, is this twist on a really beloved existing unit.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Ah, here comes our navy. Hang on, there's no sea here. And we don't have a navy.
This is not the first time CA has made a ship unit sail on the land. We've seen it all in Rome 2, guys, remember?
And finally, we have the Marienburg class landship, which is this ridiculous boat on wheels with an extreme amount of firepower.
Theodore, mate, I know you're on your last legs, but I need you back in the fight. Okay, he's going down. But his Bale Flame amulet has other ideas.
He's a terrible Empire player,
man.
man. Doesn't even know
Final
how
push
to use
in the
range.
Nope. Oh, okay then. Elspeth, it's up to you.
But we got the OP new lord to handle the shit.
Empire flourishes. We've confederated some of our allies into our faction, increasing our new Imperial authority, and we've created a vast network of gardens across the rest. Completing Tier 5 of the Gunnery School means we've unlocked the Amethyst Landship and the Purple Eclipse. Both will be powerful additions to our armies, once we find a new
What the hell is
target
this
to
thing
use them.
here?
On the horizon, we see a new armies, once we find Purple Eclipse. Both will be powerful.
12,640 health. This looks like oddly familiar, like the giant health. Well, see, yeah, I didn't copy the giant health. That's a lot of health.
Powerful additions to our armies, once we find a new target to use them on. On the horizon, we see a new threat in the form of Tamakan, and perhaps yet, we'll find an ally in the dwarves. Should probably drop off the crown if we want to make friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments on the new additions, and don't forget to follow our links to find out more, including the extra campaign reworks we've added for Empire, Nurgle, and Dwarves as part of patch 5.0. Check out our
Why
Steam page
this reworks in the patch notes?
to wishlist it now.
Like, I feel like the Empire Dwarf side of things is a little bit too thin, right? So it's separate from the patch notes, huh? Greetings, we are back this week with our second deep dive into Thrones Delay. We are having royally infested ourselves with Nurgle's blessing. Last time we thought it appropriate to take a refreshing trip to the Gardens of Moor with the Empire Latest Legend Lord Elspeth von Draken. And though you may have heard some rumblings already, but we'd like to confirm Thrones Delay will be releasing on the 30th of April, that's tomorrow. Okay, we did check Tamrakan way back, so we're not gonna be doing that, but let's see what she has. Introducing the Dark Lady of Nuln to some, the Graveyard Rose to others, Elspeth von Draken is a respected advisor to the Elector Countess Emanuel von Libwitz. No. Manuel von Libwitz, that was the surname of the guy that Elector Count there. Wasn't there no Emmanuel there? A glance gives what she brings to the Empire. Spellcasters. Upon Lord of Death, spellcaster would have to sight to boot. Elspeth's ability has given her a healthy mix of subversion and magic. Elspeth utilizes a warhorse as a typical mount, or spring the monster's Carmine Dragon. Pelgan is school, a unique campaign mechanic focused on developing the next stages of the Empire's weaponry with black powder wizardry. Gardens of Moor, a new building type allowing Elspeth to transport their armies instantly to the Gardens of Moor, constructed with friendly Empire cities. So we've got the Imperial Gunnery School and the Gardens of Moor. Descended from a bloodline long touched by the winds of magic, Elspeth has often been reclusive yet baleful foe to the enemies of the Empire. As an obsessive experimenter and the master of magic, it's time to bring her power to the forefront and enhance the Empire force in the face of emerging chaos. Often found atop a Carmine Dragon, Elspeth von Draken is deadly in every sense of the word. The two-handed pale sight, her weapon of choice, possibly grants her increased spell mastery and resistance, growing in intensity as she casts further spells, and with a Death's Timekeeper, she can reverse the sands in her favor, healing her own wounds by siphoning life from an enemy with direct damage. As she stands somewhere between life and death, we must also look at the Dark Walker, an active augment that grants Elspeth a large helping of physical resistance and triggers the Strider attribute. When mounted on a Carmine Dragon, coruscating blasts can be used. The active Dragon Breath attacks delivers both magical and flaming damage. Plus, with a Living Darkness passive, she increases her own physical resistance, whilst completely removing the magical attacks of enemies within her area of effect. So basically it's ward safe. So the Imperial Gunnery School mechanic can upgrade artillery. Radius of the mortar explosion by 25%. Mortars get snipe in stock. That's something else. Sniping artillery. They're never gonna see it. And dazed on the mortars, lower speed and defense. Well, looks like some fun will be ahead with this. Probably getting another war machine. The Emperor asked to an upgrade fast, and the long-standing institution of great knowledge and innovation, Imperial Gunnery School, has the means to make that a reality. Elspeth von Draken's unique faction mechanic Imperial Gunnery School offer permanent upgrades for gunnery and artillery units in return for schematics. A resource earned from using gunnery units in battle, as well as from special post-battle options when defeating enemy gunpowder units. So Imperial Gunnery School upgrades are available from the very start, but innovation is nothing without the knowledge to back it up. And thus more advanced upgrades requires the Gunnery School itself to advance. The Imperial Gunnery School can be advanced via field testing, a series of challenges and prerequisites that prove the institution has what it takes. Once enough progress has been made, the Armistice armory can be unlocked. Here is where first schematics can be spent on exclusive Armistice units and powerful resolvable single-use abilities. So it looks like I can have 5 of them. And that hog. For the deceased to receive protection from Mord, the god of the dead, after they pass over to the afterlife, they must be buried in the gardens of Mord, where black roses grow and magic has no place. For to allow it would defy the certainty of one's demise. With the gardens of Mord, Elspeth von Draken erects new black tower buildings in any visible friendly or neutral empire settlement and reaps powerful benefits. Once constructed, Elspeth army can travel instantly to any selected gardens of Mord via fast travel, which has both a cost and a cooldown period. The Sacred Gardens also offer the construction of powerful buildings that can push back corruption, allow for recruitment in foreign territory and much more. Gardens themselves are limited in number, and if the settlement containing one is razed or occupied by a hostile or non-empire faction, the gardens within are destroyed. Theodor Bruckner, often known as the Head of Judgment. Theodor Bruckner, legendary hero, serves as the headsman and judicial champion to the Elector Countess of Nuln. She stands with the Empire as not just the hand of justice amongst them, but also a mighty foe to any political opponents that stand against the ways of the Countess. Famed as a savage, skilled fighter with inhuman abilities, Theodor Bruckner has felled many a powerful opponent and has his sight set on Tamarkan. Giant in stature and with an optional demigryph mount for extra ability. Yeah, demigryph is just an optional thing. Bruckner is the ideal right-hand man in any conflict. With the Hand of Judgment passive augment triggering when in range of an enemy character, Bruckner gains an unbreakable attribute, as well as execute behavior to strike them down swiftly. As a Titan headsman, his active hex effect can decrease the movement speed and melee limits of enemies, while the fearsome abandoned passive hates the opposition with an intimidating aura, dropping the leadership. We also uncovered the Liar's Bane and the Stormlance weapons, as well as possessing a deadly Baleflame amulet. This amulet triggers a large explosion when the wearer meets their demise, dealing high damage to those in range. Master Engineer, new Emperor Lord. He's going down swinging for the head Theodore. The side of Master Engineer is a rare one with the Empire. This Quiet Man, a rare one in the Empire. I feel like this is gonna be every army is gonna be led by a Master Engineer with this update. This quiet man of intellect and progress learned to write scripture, design outlandish architecture, and invest strange machinery for the benefit of their civilization. But it's not just their penchant for deadly weapon supplies that makes them valuable as and baleful messages that grow weary of the quiet life, step into common with their firearm expertise, and utilize their patriotic nature to achieve victory. This new generic lord for the Empire may approach the battle on foot or mount atop a war horse, mechanical steed, or even within a steam tank. What? They have a steam tank? There's no other months here, just a steam tank. Wielding a grenade launcher as the primary weapon and a sword as a backup. The Master Engineer brings some experimental devices to the table as they lead their armies directly. So we're gonna get a steam tank equipped with items. We can finally have 20 steam tanks in the army. With the Master Ballistics, its possibility grants reduced reload time for artillery and war machines, while also increasing their accuracy. Accuracy finally does something, huh? Thanks to their pigeon bombs and an active ability, the Master Engineer can deliver a single long-range bombardment of destruction. Learn from the best. There's the engineer now here as well. Engineers of the Empire follow a life similar to that of their masters. Though instead of leading troops in a battle, they opt to nestle themselves within it as a supporting generic hero, wielding the same gizmos and gadgets as those who trained them. The engineers leave the grenade launchers at home in favor of a two-handed repeater rifle. The option of warhorse or mechanical steed for a mount. So we can't have a 20 steam tank army, because this guy doesn't get a steam tank. With this, they still have access to the artillery bus with the Master Ballistics, and opponent mercurial shot from the rifles. When mercurial shot and active magic missiles from the engineer, they fire a powerful flaming projectile from afar with high target penetration and explosive payload. Sounds like another ranged character that's gonna make Glade Lord and the Glade Captain look like trash with their bows. Noon Ironsides. Study his ways. Drawn from the guards and apprentices of the Imperial Gunnery School, the Noon Ironsides belong to the Iron Companies of Noon, rocking heavy plate armor and black powder firearms. Some of the most widely respected combatants the Empire has to offer, and with advanced equipment to match, the Noon Ironsides are new missile infantry that the enemy will wish they kept their distance from. With access to a two-handed rifle and a sword as a backup, the Null Ironsides are best suited alongside their fellow handgunners, launching a barrage of lead across the lands to support their frontline troops. Thanks to their possibility, Black Power Discipline, the Null Ironsides get a big boost to their accuracy and reload speed when they shoot from a stationary position. The second time they mentioned this accuracy thing. That's all. Some of you spotted Ironsides with non-regulation repeater handguns in our Thrones of Delay announced trailer. This footage was captured as an in-development version of the game. However, in order to remain as authentic to the world of Warhammer as possible, the null Ironsides the release will be issued with master-wrought handguns, plate armor, and highly drilled firing discipline. Hochland long rifles. The Empire doubles down on their black powder utilization with the Hochlanders and their rifled firearm crafted by Leon Todmeister himself. This precise Hochland long rifle, or to give it the full title, Leon Todmeister's fantabulously far-reaching harquebus of unforeseeable and unperceived bereavement. Looks like somebody playing Gnome in World of Warcraft. It's widely hated by those that haven't the privilege to use it. Able to single out generals and commanders from far away, no one on the wrong end of this battle is truly safe. And with a sword in the back pocket of its users, the slow anti-missile infantry finds its place amongst the Empire's growing taste of firearms. Knights of the Black Rose. These guys look awesome. Hope the Knights of More would look awesome as well. Founded during the darkest day of the Black Plague, the Order of the Black Rose was always shrouded in mystery. Though its size has shifted unreliably over time, with dark silver armor to reference their name. And the red gauntlets signify the spilt blood of their enemies. Knights of the Black Rose, a new cavalry unit, frequent the symbols of the god of death and are only chosen from those of the highest ability. As a heavily armored cavalry unit, the Knights of the Black Rose are at the top of war hosts and they storm into battle. Equipped with a sword and shield, they excel at prolonged combat without the need to cycle in and out, helping them lock down the enemy as their fellow cavalry push in from flank and bind the position where they stand. Assuming they don't send them flying, of course. Man, this steam tank looks awesome. This is definitely slightly bigger. The first steam tank ever designed came from the mind of Italian inventor Leonardo de Magliano and used the war technology to power its many gears and pistons. They became an Empire staple despite a design so complex that future Empire generations have been unable to produce more of them. But now a new variant has arrived on the field, completely rebuilt, remodeled and redesigned, bringing with it a unique tool destruction. It's literally new, better, with the more different weapons on it. It's not lost after all. The typical steam tank brings a hull-mounted cannonball launcher as part of the package. The volley gun variant has swapped that weapon out for a new revolving triple barrel cannon. This change in weapon sacrifices the longer range of the steam cannon for a much higher fire, making it little forgetting to tick a bell and mowing targets down with its spinning barrels. Steam tank as a whole have all seen an upgrade with several new attributes and behaviors that will impact both variants. The steam tank now has a directional shield which allows it to block projectiles from all sides, but crucially the missile block chance is most effective when the tank is hit by a projectile at the front. Man, the steam tank is gonna be hard to kill now with some of the ranged options. This reminds me of that one campaign I played with greenskins when I used the Doom Divers to always snipe the steam tanks and the Luminarchs, because they always spammed them, and the Empire was crazy. They also opened the hatch on the top, and an engineer commander sits proudly in the turret, waving his sword about and shooting anyone who gets too close. Finally, the steam tank can fire all its weapons whilst on the move, making it much easier to use in battle. Marienburg land ship. Set sail on the face of adversity with the Marienburg land ship, a colossal bulk contraption originally designed for the merchant lords of Marienburg in an attempt to imitate the Empire's strongest steam tanks. What this new war machine lacks in sophistication, it more than makes up for its in sheer size, ambition, and myriad of weaponry. Towering over the battlefield as a mobile force of sorts, the Marienburg land ship launches light cannon rounds from its culverin and can crush opponents underfoot whilst the crew remain on the deck above, armed with rifles to pick off any passers-by. With active toggle ability full power, the Marienburg cranks itself up to full speed, sacrificing turning capabilities in favor of ramming speed. Things aboard the vessel are getting dire. The possibility the abandoned ship will trigger detonating the land ship and wiping out anyone nearby. Detonate. But with the might of this hulking war machine, the enemy will be the ones thrown overboard. Empire Legacy updates. Okay, let's see. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Just as we did with Nurgle last week, we are going to touch upon some of the big legacy updates coming to the Empire faction as a whole with update 5.0. Remember, if you own the Empire in any form, you will still benefit from the below changes completely free. Elector counts and Imperial Authority. What are the issues with the current system? Well, Imperial Authority and the Elector count system for Cal France work quite well in Warhammer 2. The addition of new threats to the Empire Warhammer have left the system as a whole feeling quite punishing. Just because people are complaining about it, right? The moment they get a penalty, it's all over, huh? Let's see what they've done about it. There are few UX issues with Elect Count's mechanic, such as not being clear who the rightful owner of the region would be before taking a settlement. Current interaction between field and Imperial Authority often leaves the player increase their Imperial Authority directly, while then hoping the Imperial Authority increases their field each turn, which doesn't give much control to the player. I mean, that's true. What are we changing? The Authority has been reworked and separated from the Elector Count system. While the Elector Count system is often not appropriate for other Empire Lords as they aren't electors in the lore, we felt like Imperial Authority could be used as a tunnel mechanic for all Empire factions. All Empire factions now have access to Imperial Authority, however the feature only becomes active once they own land within the Empire territory. The Elector Council mechanic is now exclusive to Cal France, but don't worry, Gelt is getting new toys as outlined below. Well, finally. Imperial Authority would previously impact fealty via chance. Fealty now goes up and down directly via cause and effect. So players will be able to more directly see the effects of their or other decisions and actions across the Empire. Was it worried it's a miracle? Don't look like it, Talk. There's a bunch of new shiny stuff. I mean, Jeep count. We'll have to play, but apparently the VA bug has been fixed. That's been the best so far the best news. The VA bug getting fixed and possibly the chasing will cause less brain damage now. Miracle Patch is a unicorn we're never gonna see. Because at this point we're no longer looking for just a unicorn, we're looking for naked Yennefer on top of it at the same time. At the base level, the Imperial Authority shows how much of the Empire is actually controlled by said Empire, and it will divvy out rewards accordingly, whilst giving you a clear view of how well the Empire of Man is doing as a whole. Some tweaks and improvements have been made to the Elector Count's UI to tidy it up, fix skull bleeding, and have some Elector Counts visible at all times. Why is the coffee gone? I'm gonna go make a tea here, boys. We still have a bunch of shit to read here. Let's make a break here. There's no bitter back here. I'll just put AFK. I'm back, boys. I'm having a second cold this month. Don't you just love when you have a cold? Think it passed, you're feeling fine for a week, and then the next week get a cold again. And today I've learned I have a athlete's foot as well. It's still early though, so it's easily fixable. I mean, 2 infections running in my body at the same time. I think it's all the stress. This month has been the worst. This month has been the worst. I did walk for 35 kilometers last week, but I did walk that many, a lot of before that. Stress brings the disease more than anything. I'm gonna stop stressing like this, or else I'm gonna get a cancer and leave this early. Where were we? At the base level, Imperial Authority shows how much of the Empire is actually controlled by said Empire, and it will divvy out the rewards accordingly. Let's give you a clearer view of how well the Empire of Man is doing as a whole. There's definitely a lot of interesting things. All the new stuff, the probably stuff they haven't put here, and the rest we're gonna have to see in game, right? So the next couple of weeks, we'll see exactly what they've done. But all the new stuff, no doubt, is gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, it's Empire, Dwarfs, and Nurgle. I mean, maybe I'm biased here, but they're all fun to me. Some tweaks and improvements have been made to the electrical count UI to write it up, fix color bleeding, and have some of the electrical counts visible at all times. New markers have been added to the Empire regions to show who their rightful owner should be when owned by someone else. Some of the electrical count's functionality has changed. Originally, they replenished all the electrical count state troops. Now, when electrical count is summoned, every electrical count that is not currently garrisoned or besieged will be summoned to Karl Franz's location, turning the tide when faced with overwhelming odds. Sounds like another rite of bankruptcy. With these changes, and by allowing every Empire faction access to Imperial Authority, we are enforcing the idea that every leader is motivated by the protection of the Empire, and even if some are preoccupied in the other areas at the beginning of a campaign. What music is this? The one and only. One and only Rome Total War main menu. Rome 2. Well, someone Bloom calls out of bed. You really want that? Poor guy took a day off when the game was released. He couldn't even play it. Okay, let's see what we have here. What is for Karl Franz? Karl Franz hosts a ballad campaign many players enjoy, so it was important for us to maintain everything that you enjoy about his journey, while also making some tweaks to keep it up to snuff. What are the issues with the Prince of Aldorf? Karl Franz's position can be quite tricky at times, particularly with the situation at Helmgard. Players would often struggle to take the fort of Helmgard in a timely manner, resulting in a lot of damage to the rest of the Empire while they lay siege. This slows Karl Franz's campaign down considerably. The Lecter machinations didn't have much use past the early to mid-game when there are less Lecter Count's faction in the world. Well, they're not wrong here, they're not wrong for sure. But we're taking this as a part of the difficulty, like before the update 4.0 it was probably one of the best campaigns. Because there was so much going on. We haven't reached the Gelt. Amir, I had a break to get tea. While the Elector Counts and Imperial Authority features requires you to defend the Empire, Karl doesn't get many tools to help him do that, and would even be met with trespass penalties when trying to rush to the aid of his fellow man. Man, when you man, one thing is experiencing things. One thing, or the other thing entirely is when they write this shit down and you have to read it out loud. After a certain point, prestige became an unneeded resource without anything of true value to spend on. It's all true, all true. I mean, at least they get it. What are we changing? Karl Franz now begins his campaign with control over Helmgard. Helmgard is the middle fortress. A small change in theory, but one that has a big impact on his early game flow, having freed up a big bottleneck and allowing him to gain some stronger momentum. We've added a bunch of new tools to Karl Franz within his electoral machinations panel called Emperor's Decrees. Each decree is a powerful ability that can benefit either your own or fellow Emperor factions at the cost of prestige. As an example, you can trigger an acquisition in a province to clear away some of the pesky vampire Nurgle corruption. Yes. That's the worst part in Warhammer 3, the vampire and chaos corruption. Can have our territories corrupted, you know, by them evildoers. Send aid to an elector count that increases their fealty and spawns a temporary army for them, or safely declaring war against another elector count without suffering fealty losses through the castle's belly. Karl is now immune to all trespass penalties when moving through Emperor-owned territory. So now we don't even have to get a military access. Okay, they saved the best for last. One of the shittiest faction in the game. Let's see what they changed with them. Colleges of Magic. You didn't think we forget about Balthasar Gelt, did you? What issues are there with Balthasar Gelt? Balthasar Gelt deserves a unique faction mechanic of his own. He has grown weary of his current starting position. And as an addition of Elspeth and Nolan and making the Empire feel a bit cramped over there, he's seeking a change of locale. What are we changing? Balthasar Gelt has taken an educational exchange trip to Grand Cathay. I would want to go to China, man. On an educational exchange. Meet all the Chinese girls that I'm gonna completely ignore and not do anything about. Starting just shy of some nomads within the Temple of Metal Winds and being right next door to his good friend the Iron Dragon. As he helps the Iron Dragon deal with the nomads, he is presented with a series of dilemmas that paved the way for his time in Cathay. Or even his return to the Empire, having secured a lifelong friendship in the process. What's all this about a new campaign mechanic? Gelt has a new campaign feature, the Colleges of Magic. With this mechanic, whenever Gelt fights a battle with a wizard in his army, he will acquire Arcane Essays, with the number of Arcane Essays per battle correlating with the number of wizards present. These Arcane Essays can then be spent on gaining instant access to wizards from every lord of magic, allowing him to accrue spellcasters quicker and easier than anyone else on the map. Once you acquire a new wizard, let's use a Grey Wizard for example, more actions are unlocked for that college. Pertaining to that specific spellcaster, firstly, Arcane Essays can be spent to unlock Dance of Despair Cataclysm spell, so long as the Grey Wizard is within your army during battle, or a unique effect in this season Master Concealment can be purchased with essays grant the stocking stance to the entire army containing Grey Wizard, granting them a 100% ambush success chance. So, Empire gets access to all the Cataclysm spells, and Slans get dick. They get smaller. Well, I shouldn't be even surprised at this point. Perhaps you wish to heal your entire army in a single go? With the recruited Jet Wizard you can use as that, and with the other Lords of Magic I suppose that's only the tip of the iceberg. Only tip of the iceberg. If that is only tips of the iceberg, if the man can do all this, Man, once they release the proper Lizardmen rework and they make slants the terrifying beings that they are, when the slants cast magic, they're gonna fry your PCs. These changes and additions are designed to revitalize the Empire across the board and make their new arrival, Elspeth von Draken, feel right at home. There is something Elector Council Carl Franz polishing up arcane with the Balthasar Gelt or educating the master of the Pelganian school. There's plenty to sink your teeth into. Okay, that's the Empire part. Yeah, this was missing out of the patch notes, what they did with Gelt. Okay, let's see. Let's see the, we saved the best for last, boys. Best for last. Let's see the video first. Man, the Dwarves got nearly 15 minutes video. I'm seeing some bias here.
Inventive, quirky, Doom.
Anything and everything.
Oh, what do we have here? The Great Book of Grudges. Finally looking like a Great Book of Grudges instead of Great Book of Bugs.
Goes in the book.
Malakai is kind of this ranged king of a character. He buffs artillery lines and he's really good at striking from a distance.
Let's sit back, have a tea and a biscuit, and watch the fireworks.
Tea and biscuit, yuck.
Caught between two worlds, the Slayer and Glorious Death, and the engineer who loves to tinker, Malakai Makaisson is truly a force to be reckoned with. Malakai starts in control of Karakadrak in the Giant Home Mountains, with Norskans to the west and east, Rats and Kislev to the south, and a whole host of demons to the north. There's no better testing ground for a genius
kind of like a Slayer,
Death Wish.
or as a
But
Slayer
that's
hero.
enough about me. There are munitions to enhance and airships to fly.
Spirit of Grungi. %20 more missile strength for artillery and war machines. I'm really liking the unit card for the Thunder Barge. What's this?
Many, many, many grudges to settle, and a whole buffet of exciting adventures to sink our teeth into. We might even meet a glorious death, but for now let's deal with Dungrut and learn more about Malakai.
What?
It's a glorious death, but for now let's deal with Dungrut.
Gotrek and Felix in his army at the start. Well. They got their shit together, boys. Looks like Felix and Gotrek might finally have skill trees.
And learn more about Malakai.
Malakai is a really interesting character.
This
He mixes
pleases,
being a slayer and
Slanesh.
being an engineer into a kooky little box.
He's a bit of a fan favorite, but he wasn't featured in that many Games Workshop books.
His playstyle is all around building a lot of artillery and missile units and pushing them to their limits.
Malakai is kind of this ranged king of a character. He buffs artillery lines and he's really good at striking from a distance. Where he kind of falls down is in close range melee combat, where he can't really hold his own.
You might say corner camping is a
Yeah,
cowardly
Gyros are now 12 models way free.
move, but I'm playing the waiting game. My cannons and gyrocopters have done some nice work, aided
And
by
the Brimstone
Malakai's
gun,
buffs.
the Brimstone gun fire a stream of, it's like a flamethrower.
And Felix are supporting
Gyro bombers are 4 entities.
the front line, and the Thunderers are picking off any upstarts getting too close. It's time for the main event. Let loose the spirit of Grungni.
Man, I expected they're gonna would be playing the Pirates of the Caribbean team, but I guess, you know, they had to pay for that shit.
I can only give it basic orders and it doesn't stick around for long, not yet. But that's fine by me.
That
Let's sit
thing
back
is
on the tin of biscuit
huge!
and watch the fireworks. Tactical
That looks like a tier
abound,
5 unit.
with the spirit of Grungni forever flying above us. Design insight shortly, but first, let's nose around. Ooh, look at that, we've got building options. Recruitment provides us with a limited number of units that we can recruit from anywhere on the campaign map. This also relates to any of our lords in the Spirit of Grungni's radius. Compartments aid in things like campaign movement, production, recruitment slots, unit experience, army upkeep.
Hopefully Archmagnus is not watching this. Poor Archmagnus is we're gonna be seeing him bitch for at least a month after this.
And increasing the time the Spirit of Grungni sticks around in battle. The Spirit of Grungni is tied to Malakai and gives him an immense advantage on the campaign map as well as in combat. Used at the right moment, and the Spirit can mean the difference between victory or defeat.
So the Spirit of Grungni is kind of this call.
Quick guys, quick! Put some anime booba in the Maris dungeon to distract Archmagnus.
In power that we've never really had in Total War Warhammer before.
God damn, look at this shit.
The Spirit of Grungni forgoes the weakness of the Thunder Barge, which is getting into position. The Spirit can drop in at any place and unleash hell.
Fucking hell,
Malakai
man.
will speak to the dwarf players that are looking for something a little bit new. A lot of our existing characters don't have that same pushing their boundaries and inventiveness that comes with him. Also, these adventures are really thematic.
To fulfill the fantasy of a slayer, Malakai can set out on epic adventures which unlock in turn 5. But the constant pull of machinery is the lifeblood of any true Dowie, and Malakai has perfectly married these two vital parts of himself. To that end, adventures are paired with a type of unit. These units are highly recommended used during the related adventure because when the axes are drawn, they'll give us a significant tactical advantage. We can use the higher adventure units mechanic to recruit a limited number of these units, even if we haven't unlocked them via the buildings tree. Every adventure has 6 independent
Oh, nice!
objectives
More raised dead mechanics. Now the dwarves get it further.
complete, each upgrading the associated unit differently, but only 3 objectives are required to unlock the legendary battle. The more we complete, the stronger our unit becomes.
Malakai's campaign really plays into the adventures he had with Gotrek and Felix. You'll be going around the world, collecting
His
technologies
guns.
and fighting these awesome battles.
And as part of that, we incentivize you to upgrade some units which will be pretty pivotal in the success in taking on that beast. Malakai is different from other Slayers. Most of them are desperate to fulfill their oath. He's got some things to tinker with before that.
As I've completed all 6 objectives, ever the overachiever, the legendary battle is unlocked. Before we go face our potential death, let's have a wee peek at the changes to the Dowie tech tree. I love trees, and now we've got 2 distinctive ones, guilds and clans.
Oh.
As we've been playing more aggressively,
Yeah,
I've gone
the dwarf technology had a lot of shit, but it was dated, man. Like turtle technologies were pointless.
full throttle into the clans tree to give us every edge when the grudges start grudging. Check out the blog to see the full changes to the dwarf factions, or stick around and watch me shoot this cannon. Oh, silly elves, you can't beat my turtle formation. Ah, they're cavalry sneakily trying to get to our cannons. Thankfully, we have a shield of miners. No, you're not supposed to go behind the miners. I'm going to pretend that's not happening and summon the spirit of Grungni.
Has 3 units of cannons. And someone still gets flanked by the cavalry.
Yep, I've already dropped the ball here. These horses aren't going down. Maybe the Thunderers can help. It could be worse, at least the dragons aren't here yet.
What the fuck were they shooting?
Yeah, there they are. You know what? This is fine. We've still got 1 cannon. We only need 1. I hope.
Nothing can stop us!
Except the dragons. Get him, Felix.
Ah, cool seeing 3 dragons attack like this.
Right, well, that could have gone worse, but with the dragons dealt with, we're on the cusp of victory. One adventure down.
That's the problem with the formations like this, it's too tight. And it needs more spacing. And then if you go even like that, you still have to target the threats first, and not shoot randomly. And everything ends up in a pile like that. That's a stupid way to deploy.
A close victory means more adventures to fulfill my oath. Jamek Grimbrow.
I mean, it would be good if the enemy had like 8,000 skeleton spearmen or, you know, the Tomb King shit.
And Slayer Lord has already started around her fisticuffs with the Chaos Dwarf, so I suppose I'll start working on the Dreadquake Destruction adventure. And, as I started a new adventure, that associated unit becomes open to me through the Higher Adventures unit tab.
Malakai's fantasy is one of really 2 halves. He's a slayer, but he's also this eccentric genius engineer. So for players who want to tinker with all various types of dwarf technology whilst also adhering to the strict rules of the Slayer Oath, this is your guy.
I haven't mentioned it up till now, but our more perceptive viewers would have noticed the different numbers over the heads of characters and settlements. No, we're not ranking them, though Malakai's an obvious 10. This is the update to the grudge system. We wanted the grudge system to play a bigger part in dwarf campaigns and have a larger impact. To achieve this, grudges now work over a cycle of 10 turns called the Age of Reckoning. The number looming menacingly over a character's head indicates how many grudges they've incurred. Throughout the 10-turn cycle, we want to build the highest number possible. The more grudges set.
Man, I'm gonna be sad if we start playing dwarves in the Thrones of the Land. There's no new soundtracks, man. They've been teasing us like crazy with these new sounds and soundtracks. Man, dwarves better have a new soundtracks, at least on the campaign map, if not in battle. Like, what the hell, man?
The better our potential rewards in both campaign buffs and access to Grudge Cessler units will be.
Where's some dwarf music?
Grudges can be incurred by different means. Someone occupying a dwarf.
They haven't done any soundtracks? Oh man, that's lame as shit.
And settlement that isn't a dwarf. Trespassing. Raiding.
They're using all this cool stuff and nothing in the game, huh? They own all this shit as well. Why do Wood Elves and High Elves have unique soundtracks but not the dwarves? If anybody should have it, should be the dwarves.
Attacking. Looking at me funny. Asking annoying questions. Not saying thank you when I hold the door open for you last Thursday, Andrew. And factions alliances. Anything and everything goes in the book. Speaking of, the book's had a small makeover. It now has tabs.
I'm just biased.
Let's click through them. Legendary Grudges are long-term campaign goals offering powerful rewards. Completing Retake the Realms, for example, gives you a hefty chunk of settled grudges and reopens the Underway, allowing quick and easy passage around the region. In the Legendary Lords tab, we can compare our settled...
Guys came and have their soundtrack, but why not the dwarves? Dwarves and the Vampire Counts missing unique soundtracks. There's a soundtrack for Vampire Counts they use in one of the trailers but never use in the game. I mean, they do have at least the Vampire Counts have some, but dwarves have none. They use the same shit as the Empire.
Grudges against our fellow Dowie, and, if formidable enough, confederate them. Finally, the Grudge Settlers tab gives us an overview of all the Grudge Settler units and at what grudge level they're unlocked. Once an Age of Reckoning is done, you have the choice to take a 10-turn break from grudging or immediately jump back in, righting wrongs.
We took a look at the grudge mechanic and thought the flavour was there, but the gameplay was a little stagnant. So we've added some more dynamism to how grudges are distributed, so you can always see who needs a grudging.
Malakai's glorious death eludes him still, but perhaps not for much longer. We've stress-tested our gyrocopters and tweaked them silly. We're now ready to face the Dowie Tsar in a battle that will no doubt be remembered in song, or at least interpretive dance. Time to prove these Hashut
Probably
worshipping
haven't
fiends.
touched the bolt throwers any, because they're those new units that are supposed to just, you know, shine over them.
Are no match for a true Dowie's engineering prowess. We'll close the gap and try to tease them forward with sporadic cannon fire. But the Dowie Tsar are as stubborn as their inventions
And the
are
Chaos
ugly,
Dwarfs,
and they hold
green look
steadfast
good.
for reinforcements. The convoys arrived, so we'll head them off with our gyrocopters. You know what, that's enough waiting. Our Doomseekers will lead the charge.
Doomseekers.
So Doomseekers are kind of like this elite Slayer unit, think aspiring champions, but on the Dwarf roster, they have this ability where if you push
So
the
hold
button,
on.
spin.
They add Doomseekers to the game, an elite Slayer unit, and the Giant Slayers get an additional 12 health per unit, per entity. And Slayers are nuts.
Around and deal loads and loads of damage. So with their dual chain axes, they're really going to cause some havoc.
What does this mean? The Giant Slayers now have over 10,000 health? That can't be right. No, that can't be right. What the fuck is the point of hammers, man? This is what the hammer should be in a small regiment like that.
Spinning! That's a good trick. One our Dragon Slayer hero unfortunately can't employ against such a massive foe. This unbreakable anti-large melee expert is committed only to a glorious death. But not today. Not with the Demon Slayer on the prowl.
Demon Slayers are kind of like these chaff blender units, and what we mean by that is they're great at taking out large groups of condensed infantry.
Slayer
Look
hero
out,
finally,
here
boys.
comes Garagrim Iron Fist, your legendary hero.
My favourite thing about Garagrim Iron Fist is that his axes are chained to his arms so he doesn't lose them.
An anti-infantry melee specialist, Garagrim
Hopefully
is
he
quite
has a good
fast
voice actor.
for a dwarf.
Looks awesome.
The front line's getting a little hot for the Thunderers. We'll pull them back to give them some breathing room.
Thunderers are dwarfs that are trained in the use of firearms. Thunderers have been in the game since Warhammer 1, but now we're introducing a weapon option that allows them to take the Grudge Raker, which is a type of shotgun.
I'm having a deja vu here.
Away from the bulk of the battle, our gyrocopters and the Spirit make short work of the incoming reinforcements. A good thing too, because we've just unleashed the Slayer Pirates.
What the
Slayer Pirates
hell?
were first introduced in Dogs of War and later in Storm of Chaos. They're kind of these cutlass and pistol wielding badasses that drink rum filled with gunpowder and iron filings, so pretty sus.
We didn't quite manage to catch the train. I don't mean, that's not a pun. And it's wrecking havoc with the Thunderers. Time for the Goblin Hewer.
The Goblin here is a
Oh
spinning...
man, like this is such a horrible trailer, man. If they haven't added just teasing all these soundtracks, they haven't added anything to the game. You say for those soundtracks, that's such a missed opportunity.
Construction of death and mayhem that fires axes at rapid succession at the enemies. Once the ammunition has all been depleted, though, it's also crewed by Slayers, which then run headlong into the battle.
With the Hewer's help, we've managed to pull the Grim Delvers back. Add a shanty from the long-drong Slayer Pirates,
Dwarves with swords.
and a war cry from the Brotherhood of Grimnir.
Any comment, Marconis? Dwarves with swords and not hammers and axes. Close quarters infantry. Slayer pirates. They got swords and pistols.
and the front line is all but secure.
Man, I expected like Slayer here and I wanted a Slayer unit, but they went overdrive here, man. Man, the CA might be like, they're like, don't know how much these days. They don't know. That's like, they really try to please people with this update, I guess. Well, it's like, look how the fate of Warhammer 3 is at stake with this update. They had to deliver, huh? Extra. Man, I expected we're just gonna get a nice sandwich, some like a little bit of ham, cheese, some mayo, maybe just a little bit lettuce. But man, they went crazy. They went with this expensive bread. They put some, you know, nicely sliced tomatoes too. Then even decorated the plate.
Let's unleash the Thunder Barge.
The Thunder Barge is the ultimate expression of Dwarven air power. It's got 2 cannons, it's got loads of gunners on it, it's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon part. It is insane, and it's really going to change the face of the
I want to hear it again.
It's got 2 cannons, it's got loads of gunners.
I've been sold on 2 cannons.
Gunners on it. It's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon part. It is insane. So 2 cannons is the ultimate expression of Dwarven air power.
That's how a tier 5 unit should look like. That's how a tier 5 unit should look like. That's a tier 5 unit.
It's got 2 cannons, it's got loads of gunners on it, it's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon part. It is insane, and it's really going to change the face of the dwarf playstyle. 4 bomb. It's got 2 cannons, it's got loads of gunners on it, it's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon
I feel like
part.
anybody who sees the Thunderbird just gonna go to Steam, store page, type Malakai, buy. Just buy it.
The Thunder Barge.
Secure. Let's unleash the Thunder Barge.
The Thunder Barge is the ultimate expression of Dwarven air power. It's got 2 cannons, it's got loads of gunners on it, it's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon part. It is insane, and it's really going to change the face of the dwarf playstyle. Insane. Also got a cannons is the ultimate expression of Dwarven air power. It's got 2 cannons, it's got loads of gunners on it, it's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon part. It is insane, and it's really going to change the face of the dwarf playstyle.
Demon-infused war machines. Foul has shut.
Last time, okay, one more time.
The Thunder Barge is the ultimate expression of Dwarven air power. It's got 2 cannons, it's got loads of gunners on it, it's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon part. It is insane, and it's really going to change the face of the dwarf playstyle.
God damn, man. I'm smiling from one side of my face to the other.
Demon-infused war machines. Foul has shut magic. Pathetic. Look how our corrupted cousins flee before the might of Malakai Makaisson.
Playing high elf music during a dwarf video.
Alas,
Disgrace.
our victory falls hollow for the master of innovation. A glorious death has escaped Malakai once more, and we can only curse our exceptional talent for this grave injustice. What's this? Could it be? Was this the last of Malakai Makaisson's adventures?
It's gonna be a dot.
Has our hero met the glorious end he has so desperately sought? Or will you see just how far his inventions will take him? Thoughts, comments, biscuits? Share them below or follow our links to wishlist now.
This one has been by far the best one, man. The Emperor one wasn't so bad, but out of the 3 is the worst one. Let's see what it says here. 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 Let's see what it sa This week we are delving into the final legend lore to arrive in Thrones of Delay, for doing otherwise would end up with each and every one of our names in Damaskron. The dwarves are taking grand engineering to the next level, and with the caliber of mighty machines this guy builds, why is not to find yourself in the Great Book of Grudges? Introducing Malakai Makaisson. This technologically savvy legend lord Makaisson was once a member of the Engineers Guild, wherein he built the ironclad Unsinkable, the Rod, which sank, and the airship Indestructible, the Rod, which blew up. As a result of this error, costing many a dwarven life in the process, Makaisson was ejected with great shame, and took the Slayer Oath in turn. At a glance, here's what he brings to the dwarves. Slayer, as a Slayer, Malakai is unbreakable, whilst also benefiting from all of the advantages the Slayers bring to the battlefield. Engineer. As an engineer, Malakai supports missile units with an array of abilities that increase abilities to wreak havoc and doom on the enemy. Spirit of Grungi. The Spirit of Grungi enables recruitment for Malakai's forces, supporting infrastructure and the ability to call in support during the battle from the famed airship itself. Malakai's adventures. By completing preparations and improving different war machines until Malakai can push the feats of his engineering prowess in epic battles and earn valuable upgrades for the Spirit of Grungi. Makaisson. I'll just call him Malakai. Despite his reputation, Makaisson continued to invent, tinker and create new tools of the trade after his exit, taking another crack at the airship with much more success with Spirit of Grungi, as well as Vicious Goblin Hewer, an axe-flinging war machine. In battle, Malakai serves the dwarves as a ranged support lord, tossing explosives towards the enemy with a Cinderblast cluster bomb, blasting them into bits with his triple-barreled repeater. And if those pesky greenskins get too close for dwarven comfort, smacking them in the face with a massive spanner. Can also reduce the reload time of artillery and increase their accuracy with the artillery master passive. Plus, he's come with the prepared with some special firepower in the form of the ranged munition skill. With it, he can target a specific allied missile unit to increase their missile strength and imbue them with magical attacks. Just like that, huh? But that's not all. With the Eyes of Grungi item, Makaisson emits an area of effect buff to nearby allies, increasing their missile damage and range. And Makaisson knows the importance of good war machine maintenance, so with Makaisson, there's like, how many Makaisson is here? It's like... Look at this, 4 in this text here. And Makaisson knows the importance of good war machine maintenance, so with Makaisson's Persuader item, he can keep any war machine topped up with a replenished ammunition single target heal effect. Beyond battle, Malakai has other goals in mind to push forward both his oath as a slayer and history as an inventor. This is his adventure. Malakai's adventures. So this is where you can actually get the cannons in better. Cannons with better reload times and have a switch for different ammunition. A party war and a union mission awards. Slayers often see a glorious death in battle, whether it be against the strongest of beasts and monsters or in the fiercest of battles. They feel it will absolve them of their sins. Malakai is one such slayer, but he is not satisfied with that without innovation. Thus his engineering ways rear their head in Malakai's adventures. As an engineer, Makaisson uses his opportunity to upgrade his arsenal for use in these battles, fulfilling his oaths along the way. Upon learning of a legendary foe somewhere on the known world, Makaisson prepares himself for battle and won't begin until the enemy is aptly researched through a series of small conflicts, and his arsenal has the right tools for the job. Huh. Kinda like a hint of Norsca monster hunts, huh? Perhaps he hears tales of the Greenskins on the hunt to track down a fearsome creature, discovery and destruction of which would bring a great glory to Malakai, but the Dwarven scouts tracking the Greenskins' growing crusade, the dwarves must be ready for war. As they begin work on the Goblin Hewer, tearing across the region and enhancing the war machine's strength with the spoils of battle. If the dwarves are successful in defeating the legendary battle, Makaisson is rewarded with something new, something to bolster the abilities of his greatest creation ever. Spirit of Grungi. What is used to evade the Decay force that struck Miscellaneous en masse, this flying fortress of ferocity is the peak of Dwarven engineering. Yet Malakai wants to push this masterful creation further. Achieving victory in his adventures, as explained above, Makaisson can improve the Spirit of Grungi with valuable upgrades to the famed warship. Spirit of Grungi can support Makaisson's forces in a wide area on the campaign map, quickly ferrying supplies and forces around the known world. It grants him access to snap recruitment, infrastructural support. Is that what they call it now? Snap recruitment, the race dead. Infrastructural support, and it may be called in battle itself to support the war effort down below. Is the patch out tomorrow? This one's built to last. Garagrim Iron Fist. Iron Fist, huh? This must be the son of one and only Ungrim Iron Fist. Garagrim Iron Fist, the one and only son to Ungrim Iron Fist of the Slayer King fame, is the War Mourner of Karakadin, has achieved legendary hero status. By embracing the life of a slayer and leaving behind his father's courtroom for the Shrine of Grimnir, Garagrim took on the role of War Mourner, serving the king's stead during battle, accepting to get great honor as his own, as slayers often want to do. He's cast with short height who? Where were we? Well, I lost it here. In the battle, Garagrim Iron Fist is an anti-infantry powerhouse built to tear down large groups of enemies with his Axis of Kadrin. Hopefully this Axis of Kadrin is better than Axe of Dargo. Rune-edged weapons that are chained to his wrists so that he never misplaces them. Looks like I got a weapon chain so he can be disarmed from World of Warcraft. God of War? Ah, God of War. I haven't played God of War. Is it like a PlayStation only game? God of War stream when? Never. Where we at? He grants passive weapon strength magical attacks to his nearby allies with the War Mourner. He can spin on the spot with his chain axes. Spin on the spot, oh man. Ranessa number 2 coming with the nerfs, huh? I remember when Ranessa used to spin actually do damage before they nerfed that cheat and 2 of the attack animations don't do anything anymore. Or at least the spins. The cycle of damage takes Hurricane of Death. Hurricane of Death. Man, I heard about the, you know, Ricky, the Storm of Death, but this is the first time I heard about a Hurricane of Death. Gains a ward save that grows in intensity with the wards of Grimnir and enters a melee attack and weapon strength boosted state, the more he kills as a Slayer of Legend. Sounds all too awesome, really. The honors all his. Slayer of Demons and Dragons. Good battles flowing on all fronts. Makaisson recruits a new lord and hero to bolster the Dwarven Empire. The Demon Slayer, a new generic lord for the dwarves. So got a Demon Slayer lord. Smashed through countless trolls, giants, and dragons to the point where in the present is just old hat for him. Having felled so many beasts in the past, the Demon Slayer commits to taking down the mightiest foes of all, the Demons of Chaos. Mightiest foes of all. I guess once they get reworked one day. With a loose grip on sanity, Demon Slayer is a frightening leader, driven mad by his own shameful curse of continued survival against all odds. As a melee special lord, the Slayer excels as a bona fide demon's killer, dealing magical damage intrinsically and buffing nearby Slayers as their leader. With the active ability Glorious Dead, this lord triggers an effect that makes both himself and Slayers around him unkillable for a short time. When at last he is beset by a true warrior, the possibility of Worthy Folk grants him increased melee attack and weapon strength when fighting an enemy that inflicts terror. The Dragon Slayer, a new generic hero for the dwarves, is a rarity in and of itself, often traveling alone and shunning all contact with their fellow dwarves. The Slayer of Dragons searches far and wide for the fire-breathing beasts, ready to bring about their end. As a melee specialist hero, the Dragon Killer of the dwarves is built for felling large entities. Is resistant to flaming attacks, and like the Demon Slayer, is searching for a worthy foe to destroy. A mighty doom waits. Resistant to flaming attacks, man. I hope CA remembers they removed flaming attacks from most dragons since they introduced Chaos Dwarves to the game. So, barely any of the dragons have flaming attacks anymore. It's just gonna be resistant to Chaos Dwarves mostly. Doom Seekers are the lone wolves of the dwarf army. With magic resistant wards tattooed all over their body for protection, their unhinged minds are made dangerous by the axes attached to chains as their weapon of choice. Like Gargrim Iron Fist before them for some serious damage. Are they fighting night goblins here? I remember night goblins in green outfits. Hobgoblins. I mean, hobgoblins, night goblins, they look the same to me. I played the Chaos Dwarves, I did. You have the Zulaho campaign on YouTube if you missed it. We had a start of what's his name? I don't even know what it's called. The guy in the south, and the shit guy in the top. We had him in back and forth campaigns. With the Whirlwind of Death, the Doom Seeker spins around on the spot to create a Dwarven Vortex of Pain, dealing magic damage to enemies within range as it blends them into chunks. And they serve as a fine addition to any army looking to bring the wards of Grimnir to the front lines, boosting the ward save as more blood is spilled. The Doomsakers look like elite regular Slayers, but they might have anti-infantry. Even the Slayers are known to keep their distance from these Seekers of Doom. Slayer Pirates. Dwarven Sea Slayers, often known as the Slayer Pirates, were once traders turned to piracy on the Seven Seas after the misplacement of some rare dwarven ale. An event so harrowing that even the most strong-willed dwarf could crumble at the mere thought of it. They now take the moniker of mercenaries, searching for long-lost loot and returning it to their rightful owners. For the right price, of course. With a cutlass in one hand and a pistol in the other, the Slayer Pirates are a textbook missile infantry unit for the dwarves, festooned with firearms to keep the forces of evil at bay. And as for those few lucky regiment-renowned Slayer Pirates that have found some of their lost dwarf rum, they may have come to find that the enemy melee attacks don't quite hit as hard as they used to. Drink responsibly. Guys, I don't want to go there, but I can't help it. Seeing dwarves getting Slayer Pirates just reminds me how Pirates of Tosa, what a kind of shitty faction it is. Where were we? Grudge Raker Thunderers. With the Chaos Dwarves in town bringing their blunderbuss and fierce material to the battlefield, the Thunderers that fellow dwarf commanders may be familiar with are adapting. And have gotten their hands on some new firearms with the Grudge Rakers. This double-barreled shotgun, prototyped by the young master engineer Grim Bullockson, can fire a swat of shot into incoming troops and decimate single targets with one single pull. The close-range infantry squadrons of Grudge Raker Thunderers weren't content with just a fancy new weapon, though, as they keep the one-handed axe close by for when the armor runs dry, with a shield on their back to let them hold the front lines with ease. Give them both barrels. Goblin Hewers. Curse of Malakai Makaisson have something of reputation to them, whether it be the masterful spirit of Grungi or if infamous Goblin Hewer. This war machine terrifies any that stand before it, as it flings axes across the battlefield with lethality, speed, and a touch of precision. But a Goblin Hewer lacks in range, it makes up for its ability to shred nearby targets, serving as a burst damage artillery unit for dwarves when up close and personal. What I like to think about this thing, you know, without seeing it in action, it's like you get close to like a giant or a Dreadsaurian or a dragon, and you just right-click it to delete it. But you can just set a giant slayer instead, right? As if the enemies of the dwarves were a mere stalks of wheat standing between them and victory, the Goblin Hewer sights its way through the front line, separating skin from bone with sharp projectiles and complex design of wheels, chains, and gears. Manned by slayers, once the Goblin Hewer has expended all its ammunition, the crew charge headlong in the battle to keep the blood flowing. Time to reap what you saw. Thunder Barge. It's not just any old port in a storm with the latest heavy centerpiece unit for the dwarves. The one-of-a-kind Thunder Barge, this airborne warship is bolstered by bomb racks, cannons, and Grudge Raker riders, serving as a flying fortress to carry overwhelming amounts of firepower onto the front lines, as well as a handy beer hole to keep the pilots inebriated enough to consider flying such a dangerous contraption. This has gotta be the most expensive unit in the game, right? I think Dreadsaurian has been the most expensive so far. This gotta be the most expensive now. I saw it has 120 armor and it was showing some missile resistance. The opposing force will prioritize taking this thing down before it gets too close, but they are going to struggle as a special mix of Bugman's ales ignited aboard the vessel, triggering Thunderburner, an ability that slowly tears the Thunder Barge apart in exchange for reaching some incredible speeds. Once within range, the Spirit of Growing can be launched, hurling a giant harpoon into the enemy, embracing perfection and act oblivion. Dwarf Legacy updates. Okay, let's see the old stuff. To wrap up our deep dive into Dwarf's editions in Thrones of Decay and Update 5.0, we're going to look at the primary legacy updates that you can expect. Just as we did with Nurgle and the Empire before them, and just like with those two races, the content mentioned below will be completely free to anyone who owns the Dwarves in one form or the other. Let's go. The Great Book of Grudges. What are the issue with the current system? Grudges aren't as rewarding as they could be in the current system, true that. And thus engaging with it may not always be the best course of action, making it feel less important overall. True that. Plus, grudges often push you into doing things you are already going to do, rather than encouraging you to make actual tactful decisions. All true. Grudges being a series of missions also felt like an underutilization of the mechanic, and the feature usage on the campaign map needed some more work. Grudges were not as urgent as we would liked either. A big part of Dwarf's power fantasy is having to right the many wrongs surrounding you, which didn't quite land with the original system. Another issue was that you could sometimes get stuck with a grudge missions you couldn't complete, which would unfairly tank your severity bar. What are we changing? Grudges will now be present and fully visible on the campaign map. Any faction performs a hostile action against the dwarves' culture earns grudges. As a dwarf player, attacking an army or settlement that has grudges associated with it will award you with a grudge value upon victory. We are introducing a new system, Ages of Reckoning. Every 10 turns, the dwarves will have a target number of grudges that must be resolved. And the percentage of those grudges that have been taken care of at the time of the reckoning will correspond with certain rewards. Clearing a high number of grudges results in buffs, new grudge settler units, and even a grudge settler units. Are the... This sounds to me like the Elector Count's state troops special units. And even a temporary grudge settler army at the highest ranks. But low performances during an age will come with penalties. Legendary grudges are also available and are grand missions that benefit the entire dwarf culture when resolved. Oh, I like the sound of that. For example, taking the fight to Scamblight and the Hell Pit will reward you with a unique army ability to summon dwarf miners in your own territory now that they are no longer under threat of scheming attack. Or you may also attempt to rebuild the Kar's Anchor, locking the underworld travel network which allowed festival between Karaks. Well, 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 what do we have here? More fast travel. Confederation can be earned by outgrudging your fellow Legion Lords after exceeding the amount of grudges another Lord has earned. Plus an additional amount. You can confederate the other factions via the Book of Grudges panel. I feel that this new system for the Great Book of Grudges expands upon the fantasy you expect to have when playing as the dwarves. Offers a reliable confederation of your fellow Legion Lords and makes for a much more interactive, rewarding experience as you right all those wrongs. Oh, sounds good. It's really generic, the old system. Technology tree. What are the issues with the current system? The original technology tree for dwarves is massive, so much that it can be tricky to keep track of and engage with. What are we changing? Not wanting to remove tech from the dwarves, we have now split the original tree into two tubs, with a guild tubs and a clan tub respectively, and we've done a full sweep on all the effects. The first thing I'm gonna do when I start the stream tomorrow, I'm gonna boot up a dwarf campaign and investigate this dwarf technology tree a little bit before we start our campaign. building chains. What are we changing? We're making some tweaks to the dwarf building chains. One key example, which is a level 5 building. The Trader's Guild Hall will grant all goal every turn. So another upgrade to the trade building, so now it's tier 5 as well. Although it was before the change quite tricky to play around, you often had far too little, or on the other hand more than you could ever need. Change should help alleviate that stressor. The Forge. What are we changing? We had a look at the Forge items and done a full polish pass to make them advance in small increments. And so that you won't always need a specific resource to forge certain items. It's a smaller change than those mentioned prior, but giving the system a light polish, nice to add to the overall improvements made to the dwarves with this update. Well, it definitely looks better now that we've seen this, but people have mentioned and said that the Va battle ability has been fixed, not a word of it in the patch notes. And Gotrek and Felix have finally gotten polish they deserve, apparently. Not a word of it in the patch notes either. So it makes you wonder what else hasn't been mentioned, right? So we're gonna have to investigate over the course of the next few weeks. We're gonna be mixing Battle Brothers and Warhammer 3. Battle Brothers will be for definitely for 2 days in the week. Probably after the Magic Days, so we get chill, nice sessions of Battle Brothers. While on most of the days we're back in Warhammer 3, we'll be playing all the new factions. There is Karl, there is Gelt. Yes, both have been requested. There's gonna be a long Malekith campaign and more. So it's looking great. This it looks like they went above and beyond for the new stuff. I mean, they have to do justice to the Empire and the Dwarves, right? They are like some of the most important factions, and the Star Horse, they see the people, it's the Empire is the most played faction, so they got to put some effort into it. I'm really curious what done with Gelt, because it was one of the most disappointing things of Warhammer 2. The Golden Order, and a horrible faction. Just copy-paste slightly below Reichland, and made Reichland look bad as well. This Geld is such an awesome character, and is also a lot of fun. Very powerful character. Also one of the most famous characters in the lore. Has to have some proper stuff going for him as well. So we gotta have to see that. I'm not sure what order of campaigns we're gonna do, but like I said, we're probably gonna be playing multiple campaigns at the same time. But the day we start a new campaign, there's gonna be that day is gonna be pretty much only that campaign. So thank you guys for watching. That's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna go watch some Jack Reacher, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably starting the stream in the evening around 7 or 8 p.m. Good night.